Hello, and welcome to another Legacy FNM.
Hey guys. Running a little late today, but we've got some Legacy underway for you guys. Small turnout, only about 10 people here today so far, but
Yeah, but we're gonna stream.
it's always a good time.
Yeah, we're here to show some magic, so that's what's gonna happen. So we've got Trace over here on Sultai
Versus Stockton.
versus Stockton on Blue Black Death Shadow.
Sweet. All right, so first turn Delver for Stockton.
Yeah, it's a good start. I mean,
That's definitely kind of the start that you want to see. Hopefully protected by something like, you know, Force or Daze or something.
I can only think of one. I could only think of one better start, and that's Cycle Street Wraith, Reanimate Street Wraith.
It's not a bad one.
Put myself to 13 next turn.
I think Reanimate's one of the more interesting things in the strategy. Meanwhile, Trace has a Trop and a Swamp. See what he can do here on 2 mana. He's going to cast a Baleful Strix, and that's definitely a strong card out of the Sultai deck for Trace.
Yep.
None of Stockton's threats really get through it. It's hard to snuff out. You see Stockton Daze the Baleful Strix, and I think you almost have to there.
I agree. This is not a card he wants to be able or wants to have to deal with, especially once he starts plopping down like 5/5s and bigger.
Sure. Yeah. So Delver does not flip, but comes in for 1. And Stockton, we know, has a Ponder, which he's going to use, hopefully set up that Delver flip. Looks like he's got it.
Yep. So he'll draw a Snuff Out, and he left a Brainstorm on top.
Can't imagine Snuff Out's at its best in this matchup, but it might be able to snag something.
It might.
All right, so here comes Green Sun Zenith for 1.
This is probably going to be a Veteran Explorer.
Note that Trace tapped down his Swamp, so we're not going to see any Cabal Therapy shenanigans this turn.
Right. Yeah, if he had it, he definitely would not have tapped that way.
Yeah. So this Delver is going to flip, revealing Brainstorm. That's going to put the clock on Trace pretty quickly here. Stockton plays a Blue Delta, gets in for 3.
I'm really unsure of how many basics Stockton's deck runs as well. He might be able to benefit a little off of the basics, but probably
usually not a ton.
Not.
There's not a ton of room. You've got 2 to 3 Underground Seas, a couple, or excuse me,
Watery
Graves, and a couple Underground Seas, and
you've got your,
Wastelands.
Yeah, Wastelands and fetches. Yeah.
Not much room. You might have 1 or 2. But...
Okay. So Leovold's going to get cast and see a Brainstorm in response. Definitely something we expected to see.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking for a Force of Will or something along those lines to.
Yeah, this is a card. This is a card that if you can force it, you probably do. Maybe not in every case. Where Stockton doesn't have a board state yet, or at least a big creature yet.
Sure. Yeah,
I can definitely understand why this card could matter.
Snuff Out not looking terribly good, although might be able to combine Snuff Out on Veteran Explorer and then get another removal spell. I'm not quite sure what their suite of removal is, but if it's something like a Fatal Push, that might work.
Right.
I know some have been running Dismember that'd be a way to deal with the Leovold. All right, looks like Leovold's resolving, so no force of will's found.
Yeah, not the worst. Not the worst thing that could happen to him. Wasteland looks a lot worse. Thoughtseize doesn't look quite as good either.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leovold looks great on this board.
Not quite ideal for Stockton here. Still able to get across for 3 in the air.
It does look like Stockton has a lot of land.
So Thoughtseize going to be the play. Trace should be drawing a card here first.
Yeah, he may have missed that trigger.
Looks like the trigger is missed. So we have Thragtusk
and Titania. So both 5-drops, if a land is drawn, could get cast. So it looks like Stockton's going to elect to not deal with the Titania instead. That's actually kind of risky.
That's interesting. I feel like Thragtusk is a little bit stronger here, but Titania definitely has a higher upside for later game.
So a land or a Cabal Therapy or something. I don't know if this deck runs like a Phyrexian Tower or some way to sacrifice this, but
yeah, just something. I mean, getting across for 1 extra here is not bad in the race, but you'd hope for a little bit more.
Trace has a Green Sun Zenith, so we'll see what he decides to get with that. I would assume that's going to be the card he decides to cast. Oh, he doesn't cast anything. Just plays the Dryad Arbor, and hopefully next turn he can play a Thragtusk.
I think that's fine. You're kind of at a position where Stockton's forced into dealing with the board, so you're winning the race. You might as well just keep going on. In fact, I'm kind of surprised to see Stockton make this attack here and not just leave up the Insectile Aberration to try and block a Leovold.
Yeah,
prevent that 3.
Yeah, he needs to find a Death Shadow or a Gurmag Gingler very soon.
Yeah.
So he's going to cycle Street Wraith.
Down to 5.
So this works around Leovold because it's the first card first card drawn.
Yep.
For that turn, so he does get to draw that card. Advantages of being able to use that ability at instant speed.
Another Thoughtseize drawn by Stockton.
Yeah, this is not what he's looking for. He might have to go on the defensive.
He might be forced to cast that Thoughtseize and get the... Okay, so Wasteland's going to happen, and Trace remembers his trigger off of Leovold this time. And so that's going to keep Trace off of this Thragtusk.
Oh, okay. He did have a Gurmag Gingler.
Gurmag's the play.
Interesting. Okay. So
that definitely allows...
Would you snuff out the... Would you snuff out the Dryad Arbor to keep him off mana for Thragtusk?
It's risky. I don't think I would. Now that you've got the Gurmag, you just want to kind of hope that they miss here and press your advantage. You might be in a position, like if that was your play, I'd rather see Thoughtseize.
Okay. And just take it.
Yeah.
Just take the Thragtusk and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. Four life's just a little bit too rough.
Yeah, it is. Snuff Out's not a card that we see a ton of, or we have seen a ton of in Legacy in the last couple of years. So it's kind of fun to see it now. I mean, it's efficient, right? Like 0.
Yeah.
Cards that you can cast without having to put any mana into it.
Sure.
That's amazing.
Same thing as like Submerge.
Yep.
We see Veteran Explorer coming across, and that gets through for 1. We're going to see a
Green Sun Zenith
for 1. I think that's probably going to get another Explorer. It does.
Interesting.
So
he's going to crack the fish now.
Effectively, that's keeping the Gurmag at bay, but Gurmag's been on defense anyways, so...
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit for Stockton to turn this one around and actually find a way outside of the Delver to deal damage.
I think Stockton needs one more threat here to really solidify.
Yeah, I think so too.
And Trace just needs to draw land.
It's harder than it looks.
Yeah, yeah. Stockton could very well have an answer for this Thragtusk as well. Here comes Tarmogoyf, and that's going to be what, 4/5? Artifact, creature, land, instant.
Yeah. Yeah, 4/5. Unless there's more.
If there's a sorcery in there, then it's...
There is.
Yeah, okay,
There's a ponder.
5/6.
5/6. Yep. Yep. Forgot about the ponder.
I thought he'd exiled it to the Gurmag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't very clear to us what was exiled and what wasn't.
For sure. Okay. So that's a thing. That attacks through Gurmag and makes it very hard for Stockton to do anything. So Trace takes game 1.
Look at that. First time off Death and Taxes in a while, and he's winning. All right, looks like this game is just about to start. So we've got Josh here on our left playing Miracles.
No big surprises there. Interested to see what draw suite Josh has gone with this week, though. He's been changing it around quite a bit. So
he's playing against Jeremiah.
Last time I played against Josh, he was playing Think Twice as his extra draw spell of choice.
And Jeremiah's playing Grixis Delver today.
I've also seen him try like accumulate knowledge and
yeah, think twice.
Other fun ones.
Yeah, there is a Think Twice in his hand.
Hey,
that's not the card. It's not the best thing to me, but I don't know.
I think it's okay. It's incremental advantage.
I think he's just testing it out. He wants to see what it can do.
Exactly. All right, so Brainstorm on Jeremiah's side. Puts 2 back. Draws for turn. I'm just never a big fan of the turn 1, end of turn Brainstorm.
I am not either.
It's not my cup of tea.
I don't even really like Brainstorm on turn 1 unless it's trying to find you a Force of Will.
Mm-hmm. So, Inquisition coming across.
And it looks like this is going to get Flusterstormed. And he's considering it.
Yeah.
Honestly, looking at his hand, I would understand why he would, but it's pretty... There's a lot of redundant stuff going on. He's...
Take the...
Yeah, he's teasing. He's like, oh, you're going to take the Think Twice? Okay.
So I think if you're Jeremiah, you probably have to take the Brainstorm here. Looks like he's going to take Counterspell, and that's the other card that I could see you wanting to take here.
That says to me that Jeremiah wants to resolve a threat, right?
I'm kind of surprised that Jeremiah doesn't have a follow-up creature given that. So Josh is going to think once here. And Josh using that Brainstorm. Jeremiah fetches in response.
And then just lets it resolve.
Looks like.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is strange.
Josh drew Counterbalance, Jace, and another card. Doesn't look like there's a land there.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Snapcaster was the...
Yeah, Snapcaster.
Yeah. Okay. And that's going to get flustered.
Okay. Yeah, I like... Now looking at what just happened, I think Josh was definitely right to let the Inquisition resolve.
True name down. Jeremiah knows that there is a terminus in Josh's hand. Currently, no way to get that to resolve at the moment.
No, and
counterbalance is pretty good in the matchup.
He's brainstorm locked too, so he's actually like he's in a lot of trouble. He's got a Baneslayer Angel in hand.
He's only locked for one turn though because of the second Think Twice. So
yeah,
it's not horrible.
Well, it kind of is though. He needs to land off the top. Not only is does he have to go through one more turn, but like, this True Name's probably going to do enough. He's not really at 27. He's at 17. It's too much work to move that one.
Apparently.
All right, another fetch for Jeremiah. I didn't know Grixis Delver could have 4 lands in play at the same time.
Well, Wasteland certainly not at its best here, but still able to cast a True Name on time. So
yeah, I mean, if one of Josh's lands was a basic was a Tundra instead of a basic, like that Wasteland would probably just end the game.
Yeah, and we could definitely see a spot here where Josh has to play out a Tundra or something similar. Just the way that the cards fall off the top of the library.
Yep, and
we'll see what happens.
Looks like Josh's plan is just to think twice here and take another 3.
Yep. Not much to be done. Down to 14. If this is a second True Name, or Liliana,
that might be worse.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, that might be worse for Josh.
All right, so
we say we jump back over.
Yeah.
That match has pretty lopsided.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like we saw a Ponder on turn 1 from Stockton, and now we just saw a fetch for a Forest on turn 1 from Trace.
Here comes Green Sun Zenith for 0 to grab Dryad Arbor.
Yep. And there's the little forest Dryad.
Little forest that could.
Yeah.
Stockton does have a Wasteland, so he could set Trace back to 1 if he wanted to.
I probably would. Yeah,
looks like that's going to be the play.
If Trace was depending on that for mana, this is gonna look great, and
sure,
I'm sure that Stockton still has a lot to do with 1 and 2 mana. Okay, so there's a Phyrexian Tower.
I think that's fine. Ooh,
oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's okay. Yeah, this is gonna get activated now.
All right, so we get to see if Stockton has any basics.
Yeah, Stockton's
doesn't
not
look
even
like
gonna search. What is this legacy you speak of?
Only the best format.
OGKV, I don't know, man. Oh, wait, that's right. It's the greatest format. That's right.
Yeah, that's what they call it, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I was close the first time. I wasn't. All right, so two black floating for Trace, and he'll add a green to that.
Looks like he's got a Tarmogoyf and...
What have we got?
Liliana.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Definitely.
We're glad to have you. We love you too as a viewer.
We're glad to have you back, Crimson Viper. Seriously, like, I don't know where you've been, but it's good seeing people stick around.
So immediate down tick and replay on the Veteran Explorer, and that's going to give Trace another activation next turn.
This is huge because Liliana can actually target the Veteran Explorer, right? Or does it say opponents?
It can target any creature, I believe.
I think it can.
I think it's any creature. But he also still has the Phyrexian Tower in play, so.
Yep. Yeah, he has like every way to kill these suckers.
Yep.
Honest question. Do you guys still play Legacy? I feel like I always see you guys hosting and not playing.
Of course we play.
Not complaining, just surprised you would rather... actually, I'm not supposed to be here tonight. I'm supposed to be playing tonight. And even though I love streaming, I am actually somewhat upset that I'm not playing.
Yeah.
So Legacy's not just my favorite format to host. I actually love playing.
I love playing too. I do a lot more playing online, just the way that the time slots fall. Mm-hmm. So, but you know, I've been making it to the occasional tournament here and there. Ellen, you're going to Richmond.
I'm going to Richmond. Yeah.
If you're at Richmond, say hi to Kyre.
I'll be around. I'm sure I'll owe the sacrifice. Yeah, definitely. It was easier at first, but eventually.
There's got to be a balance, right?
Like, yeah. That's why we've tried to switch up casters a lot. Is we try to make it so everybody gets to play Legacy at least once a week.
For sure.
I haven't gotten to play in almost 3 weeks now, and
it's kind of a rough stretch.
I am. Let's just put it this way: I'm not pleased about it.
Hey, MG guys. Flory.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Good to see you.
But I am doing the next best thing.
Yeah.
So
next best thing.
If I was at home watching, I would be really upset. but I'm here hanging out with you guys. So.
Fair enough. All right, so down comes Tarmogoyf. Trace used the Liliana uptick to kill his Veteran Explorer.
Okay. Kind of interesting.
Which means he might have more use for that tower. And it looks like he does.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so we're just going to get every single
Explorer
basic
number
that Trace
3.
has. He's got another one in hand.
Wow.
Yeah.
All of the mana. All right. Well, Ratchet Bomb has its work cut out for it.
People still play Goyf? Apparently.
Tarmogoyf, still a surprisingly decent Magic card after all these years.
Yeah. This is kind of interesting to see, though. Most times we see a Nick Fit deck, they tend to go really, really big. Instead he's been using all this mana to put his entire hand onto the board.
Sure, yeah. And we have seen that there are some larger creatures in Trace's deck.
Definitely.
He just hasn't really drawn that part of the deck.
Yeah, we saw that Thragtusk and that Titania. But this Ratchet Bomb's gonna looking at these Goyfs like, they're definitely gonna die. He's gonna take a pretty big hit though. He might even. They're 3/4s, so this is 7 damage.
Land, creature, sorcery. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that people tend to hold on to value a little more than they should. People refuse to sell it for less because it's Tarmogoyf, man.
No, it's an iconic Magic card, right? Mm-hmm. So even if it's not as valuable as it may have been before, people still hold it in high esteem and don't want to part with it for a lot. So
all right, we found
Death Shadow number 1 coming down.
Very large Death Shadow.
And does he have
Double
Death Shadow number 2 coming down? Wow. Okay, we got ourselves a game here.
Kind of a blood splatter signature on those as well. Pretty cool.
So those Death Shadows are 9/9s? Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
9/9s.
So Liliana not looking wonderful versus double Death Shadow. And honestly, these Tarmogoyfs look terrible as well. And
Ratchet Bomb on too.
Right. So Ratchet Bomb's going to take care of the Tarmogoyfs, and maybe Liliana down ticks to get one of them back. That's not even a good
That's
line.
not a great line.
Oh, we've got Pernicious Deed.
Okay. That'd be a great... Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to get
Force of Will
immediately.
Yeah.
I
I think that was a good call. Not only that, but that should increase the power and toughness of the Tarmogoyfs. Not that that's too relevant, but...
Well, it also increases the power and toughness of the Death Shadows, so...
Oh, man. He did that on purpose. It's almost like this deck is good at dealing damage to itself.
2 10-10s in play.
He has a 3rd Death Shadow. Oh, that's hilarious. You have to leave Barnes & Noble now? Your headphones died? Hey,
oh, no.
Barnes & Noble usually has like some cheap headphones you can pick up. Just throwing that out there. I'm not sure if you can hear me right now.
Well, hello to everyone in Barnes & Noble.
Minus Lily for Dryad Arbor? That's not a terrible idea. I mean, you can always just get another Veteran Explorer too.
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters too much what you get.
For Trace, what are you looking to get here? Like, what's your way out of this situation where you can present a clock that can't be really dealt with here? I guess you have
these are 10/10 creatures. He's dead. He has to play. He has to play something.
Baleful Strix. Looking for Baleful Strixes, right?
Sure, Baleful Strix would definitely be one of the best you could possibly play. But even no, it actually does nothing because of Ratchet Bomb on 2.
Thragtusk.
Thragtusk would be great.
Something like that.
Thragtusk would be probably one of his best cards, and even then, he would need a follow up. A Thragtusk right now is just gonna chump and gain 5 life.
Yeah,
which it just kind of like delays the inevitable. All right, well let's see what happens here.
It's looking a little rough. I think Stockton might have this one.
Oh, he has a Carnage Tyrant.
Interesting.
Okay, okay, I like this.
Yeah,
I like this. Let's get rid of a Tarmogoyf. That like it's probably gonna die anyway, and like if this keeps your opponent from cracking the Ratchet Bomb, then you don't really care. That's totally fine. So
sure.
Let's get some mana, slam down a Carnage Tyrant. It's not gonna do it though.
Not on its own, for sure. But it will
think it has to chump.
It will buy Trace at turn.
It has to chump, though, right?
Yeah, it has to chump. These are 10/10s coming across, and that Ratchet Bomb is gonna.
He has 2 black floating. Okay, so yeah,
we know there's a Veteran Explorer in hand. That's his last card.
That would have been good to get down this turn. Yep. So we're gonna crack Ratchet. No,
up to
maybe
he's thinking.
He's considering. I could understand why he wants
Lily.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's like, let's get rid of Liliana.
I think from this point, that's probably the play, to be honest.
He has a 3rd Death Shadow. Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Interesting. So he's just going to go for the creature.
Okay, so there's some merit to doing both of these lines, right? So if you crack now, it forces Trace to chump block with the Carnage Tyrant. I think this is the line you want to take if you plan on winning. Okay? And so you have to attack face here. If you don't, then the Carnage Tyrant doesn't have to block.
Sure.
So
yeah, both have to come across. Interesting. So Death Shadow on defense to block.
Okay,
I feel like this gives way too many outs to Trace.
It does. Oh.
Wow.
All right.
Well,
okay, so Trace, I don't know. I don't even know what Trace could possibly have at this.
That's a lot of Death Shadows.
It would have to be Pernicious Deed. Like that was it,
yeah.
Right?
Deed would be it. And that's gonna be That's gonna be game.
All right, so that was a board with 4 Death Shadows on it. No biggie.
Nothing like 4 10/10s coming across. 4 1-mana 10/10s. Wow.
Crimson Viper, if you wanted us to sign some of your cards, we'd be happy to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, we could do that.
Definitely. All right, so let's check out our backup match here for a moment. It looks like there are definitely things that are going on.
Well, this looks like an entirely different game. Josh down to 2, Baneslayer Angel in play, Liliana, a Flip Delver, a Fairy Rogue token from a Bitter Blossom, and said Bitter Blossom in play.
Yeah, send him
to the shop.
Yeah, Paragon City Games. I'm sure it's located in Draper, Utah. I'm sure you can find it using Google, or I'm sure it's on our Facebook page or whatever. Look at that. Captain QC jumps in, and he was ready to trash talk with Terry, and Terry's not even here. Yeah, Terry bailed.
Yeah.
He bailed.
Swords you Delver. Attack for 5 in on the Liliana, trying to get it off a Volt. Gain some life.
Man, this is a game. There's not a lot that Grixis Delver can do to beat a Baneslayer Angel. And even though Bitter Blossom's there, I guarantee you Josh has ways to beat this Bitter Blossom.
I think this Lily ult is just going to be game.
It might not be, but yeah, that'd be crazy. Is this still game 2?
I don't know. My first thought was it's a different game, but it might be the same game.
I think Josh must have survived somehow, because I think this is the same game. Because he had the Baneslayer in hand, he had the counterbalance in play.
I agree, Captain. It's hard to race 40 zombies, even with a 5/5 first strike lifelinker.
You don't know. You don't know. I could see it.
It's a tough spot, that's for sure.
Yeah, especially with him at 5 life.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to go well. Yeah, Liliana is at 7 counters.
Jace bounce, then kill Lily.
Lily ults on 7, doesn't she?
Yeah. Lily on 7. Here comes the ultimate.
Yep.
I think that's going to be a really tough one for Josh to come back from.
I think so too. In fact, he would need to find an answer for Bitter Blossom now.
Specifically this turn, right?
Specifically this turn. And then
second Baneslayer is what I saw, maybe? No, that's a Supreme Verdict.
So he has a Supreme Verdict. He's got a Jace, a couple Spell Pierces. Not really anything too relevant at the moment.
Jeremiah's at a pretty high life total as well.
Yeah, I don't see a good way for Josh to win through this.
If Josh had like a Monastery Mentor, he might be able to brick off these zombie tokens long enough to get there. But again, he has to find a way to answer the Bitter Blossom.
The infamous Blue-White Deluge.
Blue-White Deluge, yeah. Well, let's see what happens.
Next thing you know, we're gonna see Josh play like an Underground Sea, and he's gonna be like, yeah, Deluge on 2.
We've seen some pretty wild things from Josh in the past. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No way. There's not a lot. There's not a lot that Black gives this deck that really makes it worth it. I can't.
So
that would be funny.
You could like Jace bounce a token or like Jace Brainstorm. I think I'd prefer Jace Brainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you probably have to leave Baneslayer on defense, and try to set something up for next turn. Okay, so
Josh is just gonna gain some life, and
that means
take care
that
of the fairy.
You're probably not playing Jace this turn. He could be.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He could have played Jace and just bounced one of them. I don't know. Yeah, that's not great. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that you can plan on playing out Jace just to lose it.
Yeah, Jeremiah's even got like a Force of Will, and he's got a Red Elemental Blast, a Delver. He's pretty set up to win this game.
For sure.
Beating the Baneslayer Angel might take a little bit of time, but...
Yeah, fortunately, it's not pressuring Jeremiah's life total. He's just losing 1 a turn off of the fairy. And these zombies, the zombie horde is growing.
Yeah.
very quickly.
In fact... No, he's not dead yet.
I mean, if
Jeremiah can kill one of his own zombie
tokens, if Jeremiah has a removal spell like a lightning bolt or something like that, he can easily win this turn.
Yeah, we know Josh has 2 spell pierces, but I don't think that that's too relevant with what's going on. This is lethal this turn. What?
I'm not seeing it. Like this next turn.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Yeah.
No, it is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, it is.
Back to fit Shadow.
Fine.
All right. Well, we got a board state over here. We have a 3/3 Death Shadow versus a Tarmogoyf, 2 Veteran Explorer, and a Leovold.
Yeah, kind of a flooded board state, and he doesn't really want to be blocking these Veteran Explorers. So they actually are like putting more pressure on Stockton's life total. I like that Stockton has a Reanimate in hand.
Yep.
This is kind of fun because Trace has quite a few creatures that I would call worth reanimating.
So 2 Veteran Explorers coming across, and you play kind of this awkward game versus Death Shadow decks where you need to get damage in to pressure them, but at the same time when you do, you're growing their Death Shadow for them. So Death Shadow grows up to be a 5/5 currently.
It's bigger than the Goyf.
Could be a lot bigger given those fetch lands in play.
Yeah, 2 fetches. The only problem with these fetch lands right now, I think, is that I don't think you want to put yourself a whole lot lower than 8.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure these are the only 2 Underground Seas he has in his deck.
Yeah, we see Watery Grave go. Watery Grave tapped. Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, Abrupt Decay is brutal here. So this actually presents lethal.
That'll grow the Goyf. Goyf will be a 3/4, 3/6, 7/8. That is lethal currently on board. Stockton have an answer here?
Oh, I didn't update this round. This is 1-1, guys.
All right, Diabolic Edict.
Ha! Not lethal.
Not lethal.
I'm at 1.
Down to 1, but still not looking great. Not only does that shut off Stockton's fetch lands, it also shuts off the Reanimate in his hand. It shuts off a lot of cards that Stockton could have to get back in this game.
Yeah.
All varied converted mana costs, so like you're not going to get there with like an engineered explosives or anything like that.
Yeah.
You can't deluge or anything like that. Pretty sure Blue-Black Death Shadow doesn't play Damnation. And Stockton going to go out on his own terms and force him well.
Oh, right. Yeah?
Cool.
Okay, so Sultai Nickfit will beat Shadow. Those were really interesting games from them.
Yeah.
Or at least I think so. Those are
really
strange.
Really weird. Especially the 4 Death Shadow versus 4 Veteran Explorer.
Gotta draw all 3 shadows. Yep. You have the Liliana, the Last Hope, to like bring them back after a decay or whatever.
All right, I think Jeremiah took that. It was hard to see with the blur of tokens, but
I think so too.
So that'll do it for round 1.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey guys.
Now you get to come hang out with us for a second, or 8 minutes of seconds. I don't know how to say that correctly. Cool.
So going into the Richmond meta,
yeah.
What do you think is like? What do you think about Legacy, just in general?
Well,
the
okay.
state of Legacy.
I don't know. I don't know. I
feel like I think it's healthy.
Yes, I think it is healthy. And honestly, I think that everybody has kind of a different outlook when it comes to what the meta looks like right now.
Sure.
And I think that's the biggest problem, is that it's not a solved format yet. People are still trying to figure it out. We know what decks are good, and we can plan to see certain decks. But honestly, I don't know which ones to like plan for heavily, and which ones to let go, like not sideboard for. I'm not sure.
Locked in on 4-color loam. Yeah?
I am, yeah.
Hall of Fame controversy from today. I don't know anything about it.
Not looked into that at all. Not looked into it at all.
Not really something that I look into terribly often.
I don't know. They're all just pros to me.
Yeah. So locked in on loam.
Yeah, locked in on loam.
What matchups are you hoping to run up against all day?
I want to find this shadow deck. I want to find Death and Taxes. I want to find decks where my wastelands look really, really good against. So any like Eldrazi Stompy, Eldrazi Post.
And what are you really hoping to avoid, like the Plague?
Sneak and Show.
Okay.
I don't want to see Sneak and Show. I'd rather not see Storm.
Interesting.
And
I think you have an okay Storm matchup.
It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay.
It's definitely tough. But...
Yeah. And then I don't know. Those are. It's kind of where I'm feeling right now.
Yeah,
I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So, like, I'm hoping this shadow deck is like really, really popular this weekend, because I feel like my deck has a lot going against it.
Yeah.
A lot. So.
Which certainly is shot up in popularity.
It has. Yes, 4-color loam. That's right.
That is the deck.
Correct.
Well, cool. Looks like we're getting pairings for the next round, so we'll have some more Legacy coming up real quick.
Yeah. And I can tell you right now, it's gonna be Jeremiah, who we just barely watched playing Grixis Delver, and he's gonna be playing against Brian. I'm pretty sure Brian's on Food Chain, and honestly, I haven't seen Brian on camera in a while. I think that'd be a fun match to watch.
That could be a good one.
And then we're gonna have Trace, who we just watched on Sultai, Nick Fit, and he's gonna play against Theo. I was told that he's on Red Deck Wins. That doesn't sound right. Usually he plays a Usually he plays a Sultai mid-range deck.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Black Red Reanimator is like kind of meh. I have ley lines.
You have Caracas as well, right?
I have Caracas. Yeah. I have some things against that matchup.
With Gristlebrand, but
yeah. I don't know.
At least you get to untap.
It's not like a matchup I'm happy to see, but I can just hit Leylands and win, so I'm not.
For sure.
I don't know. I don't know. Like if I lose to that deck, I don't really have to think about it anyway. Like I die or I don't. Like hopefully my mulligans are kind to me.
Black Red Reanimator to me, I just don't. It's not a deck that I really get. Like it's way too all in.
It's so powerful.
Like. The hands that are good are really good.
Yes.
But the hands that are bad are so bad. And, like, you just fold to anything going wrong. Like, any one part of your strategy goes wrong and you're dead. Because you do not have any backup plan.
Alright, so I believe Brian's on Food Chain. I kind of hope so. I like watching, I definitely like watching Brian play Food Chain. He's done it once or twice. Really? Theo's on burn? That just sounds wrong to me. That just sounds so wrong.
We'll see.
It can't be. Maybe he's borrowing Travis's deck or Ian's deck. I don't think it's Ian's deck. Who comes in and somebody's like, "Hey man, I have a burn deck I could lend out," or like, and people are like, "Oh yeah, yeah. Hold on, let me put down my underground seats for the day and pick up some basic mountains."
Yeah, Chalice Main is a big thing if you can get that down on turn 1.
Yes, and Teague is insane as well. Yeah. I have game against them all, but I'd still rather not see him. You played against Theo on Wildfire in Legacy? I've seen him play Wildfire in Modern. I've never seen him play that in Legacy. All right, well, it looks like these guys are about ready to start, so let's jump over.
All right.
Okay, so Brian's going to start things off with the Polluted Delta, and he's just going to pass the turn. This is a long time ago? Okay. I mean, we're about to find out, right? Like,
yeah.
He's got a Force of Will. That does not... Oh, no, this is a wrong match. My bad. I was like, okay, he's not on burn. Now I'm like curious.
That timer too.
Oh, yeah. Let me fix that. Ugh, I'm just going to guess. It just started a couple minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
Let's say like 35.
I always just guess.
That's all we can do.
Close enough.
Yeah, this is totally when the round ends.
Close enough.
It's totally official and whatnot. Said no Kyre ever. Alright, so we've got 2 fetch lands, we've got a couple basics, and now we'll see Baleful Strix. So one thing that I've always admired about, especially watching Brian play this deck has the luxury of fetching its basics early.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's a 3-color deck, and it does it so well. Okay, so here's an Inquisition, and oh man, this hand was good. Okay, wow. All right, so Food Chain's gonna get Inquisitioned here. We see 3-man. Well, now it's bad. Now it's really bad. He has 3 lands, and he's got
still not horrible, but
a Baleful Strix and a
Walking Ballista.
He just needed a Griffin or a Manipulate Fate or just like, you know, any one of those creatures. He was 1 piece off, and now he's 2.
These Strixes are still going to be very good in the matchup.
Yeah, they will. They will. They'll give him probably all the time he needs.
And Ballista on an unflipped Delver seems pretty good.
Yeah, true. I'd be surprised if he fired it off that early.
Certainly, yeah. It's not what you want to do, but if pressed, it could happen.
The fact that we haven't seen a threat from Jeremiah yet makes me think that this game is going to go quite long. So maybe Brian's hand is actually quite okay. Alright, so we got the basic forest. And another Baleful Strix.
Makes sense.
That's going to resolve, and we'll hit for 1. Dang it, when you do this whole hand thing... Oh, okay. And we got a Birds of Paradise.
All right.
So, yeah, not exactly...
All the mana in the world.
Yeah, not exactly what Brian was looking for.
Certainly not what you want to see. But it does bring him up a little bit in terms of, like, being able to hard cast a Force of Will or something like that.
Yeah. This is definitely frustrating, but... Yeah, so yeah, definitely. Jeremiah sees Double Delver in a Ponder. Yeah, he's got what he needs to get into this game. It's this is definitely interesting. Okay, so Inquisition sees another Birds of Paradise. Wow. He's gonna get rid of the Walking Ballista.
Now things are looking a little a little thin.
So now here comes the I'm gonna guess it's just gonna be Delver versus Strixes.
Yeah.
I don't. Pretty sure we can predict the
matchup.
Outcome.
So if you're Brian, I guess your best draw here is Manipulate Fate.
Yeah.
Right? And
yes, definitely.
That gives you the card advantage to start getting back.
I would fully expect that to get forced, though.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah does have that. What was the Strix Church that we came up with, Captain QC? Was it like Church of the Dark Owl of Death, or the Black Owl of Death? Is that what it was?
I like it.
we were serious about our Strixes on Tuesday.
As you should be.
Mm-hmm. They do lots of things, and they do those things well. Okay. So just a pass back, and this definitely makes a lot of sense. Jeremiah's not running those Delvers out. He sees that,
Oh, yeah.
you know, there's not a whole lot of use to do that at the moment, so I'm just going to continue to look for more things. I do know that he was able to find a lightning bolt off of the preordain. This can take care of one of the birds.
Sure.
That's a start. That's a start.
If you're Jeremiah, I think the card you're really looking to see is Kolgan's Command. Being able to clear 2 birds at once.
I don't know that Grixis Delver typically runs
going.
that, though. Grixis Control definitely does.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not sure this deck does. There's a True Name.
There's True Name.
Yeah, there's a threat.
It's a good card. That'll get through some bird beatdown.
For sure. It's not going to stop the bird beatdown.
Brian playing bird tribal over here.
Yeah. Brian hanging out in his little aviary. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Jace to the aviary.
Yeah, this is getting forced or countered in some way. Yeah, I don't think he has Kolgan's Command. I highly doubt it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so it looks like 2 lands go back to the top, and this is going to get forced. We'll see what he pitches here. So this is going to get rid of a Delver. That makes a lot of sense. And he'll lose a life. We can hear him from outside go, that's not fair. And I lose a life? This is dumb.
Alright, so plenty more cantrips in hand for Jeremiah. Leading things off with the Ponder. Finds Ponder, Daze, and another card.
Whoa, Nate! You left out the Birds of Paradise. They're helping and stuff.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's not bird tribal if you only have 4 birds. How's it going, Veritable CVN? Good to see ya.
Maybe one of these days Brian will find something that's not a land or a bird.
Nah.
Birds of Paradise, I should say.
You found a Jace, but, you know.
Yeah. Well, that got 2 cards out of Jeremiah's hand. That was definitely worth it.
Jace was not allowed to the party.
No.
It's not a bird.
Yeah, and Jeremiah's shuffling. So I think what Jeremiah needs right now is another threat. Preferably another True Name Nemesis if he has it in the deck.
Yeah, it'd be ideal.
But a Delver's not going to look good. A Grimag Angler's not going to look good. If he is running Young Pyromancer, that might be the other thing that he would be happy to see. Doing well? Fantastic.
Glad to hear it. Apparently he does.
I think since Deathright's banning, he's been maining 1. Actually, I think he mained 1 before. I don't know. What do I look like, a doctor?
Obviously not.
I don't know stuff.
So this 3 versus 2 trade will eventually favor Jeremiah, although...
Eventually. This is... A fetch land came off the top, and the draw off the Ponder, off the shuffled Ponder, was a Daze. So, honestly, this really just has been bad draws all around for both players. Both players are flooded. We have a race that is definitely in Jeremiah's favor.
You know what would be an interesting top deck is another Walking Ballista.
A Walking Ballista would be wonderful. This is 3 mana. Is this a Scourge?
This could be. Oh,
no, Food Chain. Okay, that's...
Food Chain resolves.
That doesn't really do anything.
More mana. This does mean that basically Brian has a couple more live draws.
Does he have a lightning bolt? Are you sure? He scried the lightning bolt with the preordain earlier in the game. I don't know that he kept it on top.
I don't think he has a lightning bolt in hand.
I don't think so either. I think he put it on the bottom or shuffled it away. Yeah, Ballista would be wonderful. Him to Tara.
Him.
Not great, but okay. Gets rid of a Delver and a Daze.
Jeremiah Hellbent.
And now Brian's in the situation where it's
there's a lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt's gonna flip, and that was a nightmare. Yeah, that's not what you want to see. So Delver's gonna get chumped by a Birds of Paradise this turn, and
I'm not even sure you attack with it.
You might not need to.
I think you just get in with the True Name and threaten lethal next turn.
See? Yeah, see, there was one there the whole time. Yeah, shut up, Nate.
Can't see through the top of the deck like you can.
I wish I could do that.
Oh, man.
So, number one draw, probably Manipulate Fate still. Yeah?
Yeah, you have to Manipulate Fate and draw into Walking
Ballista.
Right? Like, that's how you win this game?
Or Emrakul or whatever it is. Yeah.
Fierce Empath or whatever.
I would not put a draw like that past Brian. Just throwing that out there.
It's been known to happen.
I've seen it happen before. I'm not happy about it, but it does happen.
Let's see what we get. Brainstorm could also do it. Brainstorm into something.
Yeah, that'd be a great draw.
Here we go. What we got? Well, Brian's not slamming anything.
Nope.
And Brian... Okay, it's just going to be a Griffin, so it looks like this game's going to go to Jeremiah. In for 3, Bolt.
Yep, and let's just finish things off with the Bolt.
Yep. That'll do.
Okay, so Jeremiah's going to take game 1 in one of probably the worst games we've seen in a while. And these guys are also shuffling, of course.
Of course. We can feature the best shuffle cams on all of Twitch.
Let's watch them. That way we get to watch sideboarding too.
Oh yeah.
Brian, draw luckily? What? No.
Never.
Not Brian. No, Brian.
Never lucky Brian.
Yeah, never lucky Brian. Oh my god, can we get that? Do you think we could get that nickname to stick?
Never lucky Brian.
Yeah.
I think so. What do you guys think? So, Jeremiah's side, you're probably siding in surgicals, maybe.
I'm not sure. So I do think that Brian's the deck that can mid-range a little better than Jeremiah's.
You side in like Pyroblast or something like that? I don't know. It doesn't seem great. Like,
I'm not sure. I'm definitely not sure. It depends. Like, what is he respecting more? Is he respecting the fact that Brian's deck can actually go long really, really well, or is he going to respect the combo? Like,
it's kind of a tough call.
It is. I mean, that's what makes this food chain deck so strange. I mean, you definitely don't like. I can tell you right now, the biggest thing is do not let Manipulate Fate resolve.
Sure.
Like, that's got to be like the number one thing on Jeremiah's mind is like, no way am I going to let that thing go.
Yeah.
And Brian just wants to be able to interact early. Oh, he's got his daughter with him. This is Andrea, everyone. Just cut all 4 Delver and play Grixis control.
Have some self-respect.
Welcome, Terry. It's about time you show up.
Yeah, you're late.
Way late.
So on Brian's side, what do you side in?
I mean, he wants that early interaction. He wants, he'd rather not see something like a Delver just take control of the game early. I don't think his deck is miserable at doing that. He's got Baleful Strixes, he's got Birds of Paradise that can help him out with mana and then save him 3 points of damage later in the game. Especially where Brian's on the play, like I think that this matchup does favor Brian slightly, but Grixis Delver, if we've learned anything about this deck in the past, it has the ability to go under anything, and if Brian stumbles at all, then Jeremiah gets to take that victory, because this is not a deck that stumbles easily.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know, and it has.
We only saw the one.
It's probably 2 or 3.
I'd imagine. Yeah.
3 does seem a little high, but I could see it. My guess would be 2.
All right, so opening hands being drawn.
I guess having less Deathrite Shaman, you do want more like good threats.
Threats, yeah.
Yeah.
3 is just a lot of mana.
It is.
For that deck, anyways.
It's his list, 99%.
Okay.
It couldn't be anything else. There's no way that any of our players could possibly be innovating at all.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Then there's 3.
There's 1% for innovation.
Oh. That's pretty small.
It's probably not too far off for Legacy in general, though. So Brian scries, keeps it on top. Island go.
Yeah, I mean this is a good start. Like just being able to start off with your basics is good. You don't want to lose this game to one wasteland.
Sure. It's always nice to be protected. And Brian's deck does a really good job of playing off of its basics. Ponder shows Force of Will, Lightning Bolt land, and Jeremiah's going to take that Force of Will to hand. Brian attempting to manipulate fate here.
And it resolves.
Wow.
We can hear him from outside. He goes, hooray! Cast manipulate fate. So we stated this earlier, and we just said, hey, you know, like the biggest thing is Jeremiah does not want manipulate fate to resolve. So people who do not know what this deck does, manipulate fate he gets to search for 3 cards and put those cards into exile, and then he gets to draw a card. So he gets to go and search for, first off, the Scourge, and then 2 Griffins. Okay, both of these 2 cards that he exiles, they can be cast from exile.
Yep.
All right. So
and
really,
he draws, like, what's not to love?
Yeah. So he basically gets to draw 4 cards in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're not in his hand, but like this is a lot of value.
Yeah.
This is a lot of value.
Kind of surprised Jeremiah didn't counter that or attempt to counter that with Force of Will. Shadow is real thing against like everything.
Yes, we've actually USA we've actually done a little bit of testing, and I've seen it firsthand. It's a real deck. Yep.
Yep.
It is quite good.
Much to my chagrin, because I really don't like the deck, but it is a real deck for sure. All right. Looks like Jeremiah's looking at a true name and a
I mean,
cantrip.
Anytime you see your opponent scry and like keep both on top, you're like, oh, wonderful.
Here we go.
Yep. So this is just going to be a follow-up ponder, and
I think you can get rid of that bolt.
True Name, Lightning Bolt, and Scalding Tarn.
Interesting.
Yep. And he's just going to keep all 3 and draw the. Was it the True Name he drew?
Yeah.
All right. What have we got, Brian? Carpet of Flowers.
Wow. Okay.
Carpet.
There we go.
All right. Let's pull up Carpet. Not a card we see every day.
That's going to give Brian a decent amount of mana to work with. And it's actually really good in Delver matchups because they're trying to attack your mana base.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's check out this Carpet thing. There it is. So
during your main phase, you may add up to X mana of 1 color to your mana pool, where X is the number of islands target opponent controls. It's going to get forced.
What? I did all that work bringing up carpet, and it gets force of will. This isn't no fair.
Brian
no fair.
is able to land a relic.
This isn't going to be too relevant. However, it does have the possibility of keeping Jeremiah from casting Gurmag Angler.
It can also recur some Griffins if the Griffins get.
Yes. Yeah, that is a very good
graveyard.
Mm-hmm. However, I do know that Brian's deck plays 3 Griffin and 1 Eternal Scourge. So three of those 4 cards that I just mentioned are already in exile. It's probably not going to be too relevant this game, but it's possible. If they get like countered, like forced or whatever.
Or even just bolted or something like that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So Jeremiah likely playing out True Name here, would be my guess. Got absolutely stomped tonight. Ugh.
Well, what were you playing?
Sorry to hear that.
Tell us what you got stomped by. Give us the story.
Okay. So able to get a Gurmag down.
Yep.
Yep.
And this was the only time to do it.
Oh yeah.
Relic was going to keep Gurmag from coming down for the rest of the game. Okay, so this is Manipulate Fate number 2. Now the second one is much worse for Brian. So what he'll end up doing is he's going to find his 4th piece.
Sure.
Maybe either that, or he's just going to get rid of cards that he does not want to draw from this point. So we see him take out a Hymn to Torok. I could easily see him taking out, like, a lot of games where he has like 4 or 5 mana. You know, he'll take out 3 fetches.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely understand why take out.
Say you can take out Manipulate Fate for sure.
Yeah, the third Manipulate Fate's probably a good one to take out for sure. Yep. And he's not quite sold on his last card that he wants to exile. I hope we get to see all 3 cards from him.
So on Eldrazi and queued into Moonstompy, yeah, that seems rough. And
4-color Loam, sweet. That's the deck that I'm playing right now. Parry and Repost. It's a good deck. I really enjoyed it.
Can do it, yeah, for sure.
So it was a Flusterstorm and 2 Hymns.
Okay.
Were the cards that were exiled by this Manipulate Fate. But there is something to mention. He does get to draw a card off of Manipulate Fate, so he'll draw that card there. Kind of strange that you search and then you shuffle.
Sure.
Then cut and then you draw. It's just kind of a strange card.
Bolt to the face. Brian dropping down to 17 life.
It's aggressive. And Relic's just going to get rid of that bolt immediately.
Brian's still in search of land number 3.
Yep.
Here comes True Name. And this is going to be a real quick clock for Jeremiah.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I mentioned. Is sometimes Grixis Delver can just get in and under Brian when he stumbles, and this is exactly what's happening.
Yep.
Brian is stumbling pretty hard, and Grixis Delver is just going to punish him.
I wonder if it's too late though.
I think it is. So all this Ballista is doing is going to block for a turn and deal damage. It's not.
I'm not even sure if you.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess you have to, but it doesn't save you a turn. So I'm kind of wondering if it's better not to block and just hope that they don't have second bolt. Round 1 was Sultai Nikfit versus
Death Shadow. And Miracles versus Grixis Delver.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a Deluge, and that is a reason to block. So Brian probably had that in hand.
Yeah, that. I mean, who knows how many turns this gives him?
Yeah, it certainly gives him a couple.
Might give him a couple. So we do know that Bolt is still in Jeremiah's hand.
Uh,
yes, no, maybe.
He used one bolt. I don't think he had two.
Okay. Yeah, let's brainstorm. No?
Fate Seal.
So Brian seems to be terrified. Yeah, it's just double fetch here. Double fetch?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Might be
Jeremiah's
hoping for,
like, I do not want more lands. I want all the lands out of my deck right now.
Yeah.
And fetching here does make it so the top card of the library is unknown.
Yeah.
After Jace, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty
I'll
much.
leave that on top.
Yeah. I'll leave it on top, and they're like, yeah, I don't want to draw land.
All right. Wasteland's the draw.
Okay.
That's going to take out an Underground Sea. Or Bayou.
Bayou. Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
I don't really think that Brian has the luxury of being able to fetch here.
Brian's got Brainstorm as his draw. He's going to start off with a Jace Brainstorm.
Okay, so
draws him into some cards.
Brian's hand is actually really good after this Brainstorm. He's got Murderous Cut. He's got what was it, Force of Will. He's got a Baleful Strix, so he's actually got a okay.
Brian
this deck
might
is
be starting to pull ahead on advantage.
Unfortunately for Brian, he needs to find combo. He's not gonna win the game very quickly like this. I mean,
He's got access to a lot of blockers. And
yeah, he does.
Jace in play is going to be very hard for Jeremiah to deal with. Jeremiah just needs to find a little bit of reach to get there before Brian can fully lock him out. All right, Preordain.
Yeah, it's a great thing to see for Jeremiah. He sees a land that's going to go to the bottom, and he's going to find a Liliana, the Last Hope, and he's going to draw that and cast it.
Liliana's a good one.
This,
if you're Brian, I think you're okay with that. Like, you're not happy with it, but you're okay with it.
Definitely not. Definitely not happy. He has the Force of Will, and he can pitch Griffin, but he goes to 3.
I think Brian is really worried about Lightning Bolt.
You've got to be.
Yeah.
You've got to be. That's how you lose this game.
Yeah.
You know, I think that Jace can potentially kill before Liliana, and
yep. And you've got the graveyard managed with your relic, so you shouldn't be too worried about him getting back a creature.
Right. And Brian's got plenty of
like next turn you can easily play a he is going to go to 3. Interesting.
Well, he can do this now because he still has Force of Will.
Yeah.
If he Force of Wills Lily, then Bolt kills it. See? So now he's able to Force of Will. He goes to 2. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay.
But what you don't want to do there is Force of Will Lily, and then you go to 3,
exactly.
and then you get bolted, and then you have nothing.
I agree.
So I like this play by Brian. It's a little unfortunate that the Lily had to resolve, but we'll see where this goes. This is definitely the game for Jeremiah to lose, right? Like,
sure.
This has been his game the whole game. It's kind of crazy that
Jace might be able to pull this back.
It is possible, and Brian can just start casting Griffins.
He probably should.
Okay, he's gonna tick up. I mean, Jeremiah's hellbent, so you got to, you know. He just says, okay, you can keep that there. Let's
pass his turn. It looks like a Gurmag is the draw. Could be wrong.
Still Uosa, come on.
Yep, Gurmag.
We don't play Price of Progress over here.
Hard cast Gurmag full.
Oh, that is wonderful. All right, so this is going to be a Murderous Cut. We definitely knew that Brian had that beforehand. And that's why he lets him keep that. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care about that. So let's continue plussing. No.
It's a black card.
In Blue Red Delver? This isn't Blue Red Delver. This is Grixis.
They're clearly underground seas. And a Liliana.
Price of Progress would probably... would it actually kill both players? Yes, it would kill both players. Yeah, I know. I know you're just saying. I hear you. I'm acknowledging that. You know it's not a deck burn. Yeah, you say that now. I've lost to that deck enough times to know that it's not just complete garbage. It's not good, but all right. So let's get this back. This is big news for Brian because really this turn, what's going to happen is the Skrmag's going to come down. Okay. So there's a follow up. But
you're thinking Jace bounce. And,
yeah, Jace bounce, Griffin kill Lily, and like he's golden, right? Like all he has to do is just dodge a lightning bolt.
Food chain was the draw.
That's so good. Okay, so now we get to demonstrate the... Yep,
He's
that's
got
it.
A combo.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Brian had the Griffin in play. He had more exiled Griffins into Eternal Scourge.
Yep.
And he draws Food Chain and had the Walking Ballista to get the infinite damage win.
What a comeback.
and that's...
Never lucky Brian with the comeback.
Yeah, never lucky Brian. Ugh. What a guy. What a guy. No, I wouldn't call that a lucky draw. He had a lot.
He worked hard for it. Yeah.
Jace brainstormed like twice. He drew like a ton of cards. Yeah, I don't know about that.
He worked hard.
Yeah, he got rid of hymns. Yeah, hashtag never lucky Brian. Yes.
We're getting it started.
Yes. All right, our other match is over. I do not know who won that one. We've been on this match the whole time, so
we'll keep it here.
Hopefully it lasts all 16 minutes. Gives us some suspense. Something to watch.
Hey, if we have another game like that game.
Yeah, seriously. Ugh.
Delver on the play, though. That's a scary thought.
Yeah, this is... I mean, I do think that when Grixis Delver's on the play, like, that's just how the deck was designed to work.
Oh, yeah.
You have Dazes, you have Wastelands, you have... everything you need to interact with your opponent well. And the fact that we're seeing his Dazes pulled out right now is kind of driving me nuts because you can't do that, right?
Yeah, I don't think you can afford to, especially on the play.
On
the draw, you can make an argument.
I highly, highly doubt Brian kept in all of his Birds of Paradise. It's a do-nothing card against a deck that demands reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you're taking out Dazes because you feel like Brian's going to have a little extra mana and you really don't want to daze a Birds of Paradise, then I think you're wrong because I don't think Brian has them in his deck anymore. Or if he does have them in his deck, I'm pretty... You think he brings the birds back in? Or are you talking about the Dazes, Nate?
The Dazes.
Because I think you need to have the Dazes, and I'm pretty sure Brian boarded out at least half of his Birds of Paradise.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It wouldn't surprise me if he boarded out all of them.
Especially if you're playing Deluge and like...
Right. Yeah, he boarded in Deluge. Like, you don't want to keep your birds in with us. All right, turn 1 birds, turn 2 Deluge.
Got it.
Bye, birds. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, the Dazes. I agree. I think that those need to come back in. But you know what? I don't know. I don't have near the amount of experience as I'm sure that Jeremiah has. His deck's all pretty and signed. I'm sure he's played this deck once or twice.
Only once or twice, though.
Okay.
All right, so Jeremiah looking at a hand that has...
I see good hands on both sides.
Some potential. He's got Force. He's got Ponder, a Delver. Only one land, it looked like. We'll find out here.
Hey, Crimson Viper, make sure that when you send over cards to be signed, make sure to send me a burrito, too.
That'd be great.
Thank you. Please and thank you. Anyway, that's all I had to say.
Yeah. That's all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
All right, here comes Delver.
Yep, there's the hot start, and we know that Brian has an Abrupt Decay, but that's not going to come down till turn 2. So he's going to take at least 1 hit from this Delver, and we'll see if it flips. It does.
That's what the Ponders are there for.
It is.
Line flips.
Is the Crimson Viper like medium version of the Red Viper? Are you asking for our answer, or do you want to know Crimson Viper's answer?
It's like 3 good ones off the ponder. Another
Right,
4.
so we'll definitely have a game for ourselves. Did Jeremiah have a second land though? When I saw him pull up his hand,
I don't think he did. I don't think so.
So did he see any lands off this ponder?
No. But I think the hand's just good enough that you keep. You've got more ponders and the like, and you know that Brian's not going to attack your mana base.
Yep, there's land number 2. Do I live under a rock? I actually...
No, I got the reference.
I've watched through that show like 3 times. Come on now. Yeah, you can send it to me. My name's Kyre Folsom. It's totally a normal name, you know, like easy to remember and stuff. If you really want me to do, you don't need to send me a burrito. You don't need to. But I will say this: I would never complain.
You wouldn't turn it down.
No, if somebody sent me a burrito, I'd be like, sweet.
So I have to imagine there's an abrupt decay coming in.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Brian that we're already seeing a second threat, because he's really only got an answer to 1, and
second land here too is kind of killer.
He can't. Yeah. Oh man.
Are you the YouTube pleb? I don't know, man. Are you? It's good to see you, Anton.
Anton, if you want to be the YouTube pleb, I'll make you a deal. I'm just gonna let you.
Brian throws his abrupt decay across over at the Delver.
Just slam it down.
That was aggressive.
It really was.
Brian does have a good hand. He's got Food Chain. He's got a decent amount of spells. I believe he has... No, it doesn't look... He's got Force and Brainstorm. I thought he had Manipulate Fate. I think I'm wrong, though. 3rd Delver off of this Ponder. Able to set up so Delvers will flip next turn. How's Death Shadow doing? Haven't heard anything past first round.
Yeah, they lost round 1 to Sultai Nick Fit. You can't see Anton's name in chat, only on screen. Yeah, it's because he's tuning in from YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on there. That's why we have our chat up on our screen, is because people can chime in from Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. So that is why.
All right, so Brian getting set up here. He might be a little slow, though. We know these Delvers are flipping next turn.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of damage. And honestly, we still know that Jeremiah has a Force of Will. So this means that Brian not only needs Food Chain and Walking Ballista this next turn, but he also... No, it takes 2 turns. Yeah, I don't think this is looking good for Brian. This is just a hot start.
Brian's taking at least 12 damage. 13 if he uses his Force, puts him to 2. Brian really needs to have more mana, and that Wasteland is just going to be brutal.
Veritable, that is like the nicest thing I have ever heard. You have a friend in need, and you can actually send them food. That is seriously cool. How's it going, Claymore One? Welcome in.
Hey, Claymore.
Yeah, speaking of people on YouTube, see, people can jump in on YouTube, and you can see their messages on our screen chat.
So I think Brian drew a engineered explosives.
Yeah, that's gonna get Force of Will. So Brian will need it.
Brian has Force.
He has Force as
spell.
well. Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, I'm pretty sure that Jeremiah is gonna have double Force. I don't know that all those cards are blue. He has double Force and a blue card, so
he needs one more blue card.
The blue card's in the preordain. He can snag the Brainstorm.
Looks like he will. He's just going to Brainstorm right now, though. Okay. So he finds Spell Pierce, Liliana, and a Lightning Bolt. And he put back one. Yeah, he put back 1 2-man cards.
I don't know if I'd call myself MG Flurry. I don't know if I'd call myself a big Food Chain fan. I like the deck. I like a lot of decks though. Do I still feel like it's feasible with Deathrite?
I think it's feasible. Brian 5-0'd with it online.
He's also done a lot more than that actually. Yep, here's double Force of Will, and I think this is going to close out the game.
Probably. We also know that there's a bolt on top. Should be enough.
Oh, that's true. You can just like have Uber Eats delivered to a specific spot.
So that's going to be game. Jeremiah takes the match 2-1, and kind of a rough one for Food Chain there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Jeremiah had a great hand. Let's be real. Like even though he missed a Delver flip, like it was hardly relevant. Like, it was
3 Delvers, 2 of them like they all flip on time. Like.
All right, welcome back to our little booth. It is actually like a wide open room.
It's pretty decent size.
For some reason, we just feel like we need to be crammed up against the back wall. So,
yeah. Make it
Cool.
cozy.
So we've now seen Grixis Delver win twice, and we've let's see, and we've seen Nick Fit win. I'm not sure. I'm actually gonna ask.
See how they did.
I'm gonna ask who won between Trace and Theo, because
sure.
I'm curious to see what's 2-0, what we're gonna see next round. Since we did have a smaller turnout today, not sure exactly why, but we'll probably see some repeat decks today.
Down all the way across, like not just Legacies down.
Yeah, just not a lot of people are here tonight. First week of school, I'm sure has something to do with it.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm sure that as things get kicked into gear, we'll get everybody back.
Mm-hmm.
Going back in time. Where are you going?
What year?
Yeah, where are you going back in time? No, I'm curious. Now I feel like I have to like pace around the room until I get an answer.
Trace feels the power of the deed.
Is he 2-0?
2-0?
Seriously?
Okay.
Are you being serious right now? You can't give me a hint like that and not just tell me straight on, because I'm curious if you're messing with me. Grab another water. Glad we brought more waters.
Well, thank you all for joining us today.
Yeah, how's everybody doing? I want to hear how
cheers.
How everyone's doing tonight, because I feel pretty good. Matt seems to be feeling pretty good. I didn't ask, but
doing all right. We'll leave it all right.
You didn't read the tone in the comment? Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, it's funny. So I'm going to get waters, and seriously, there is a guitar leaned up against the fridge, and my mind's just going
1-1.
Man, this could be a real interesting stream.
So Trace lost.
Okay. So really
lost to Burn.
Lost to Burn. So Burn.
So he is
Burn is 2-0. Wait, who was it just a second ago who was like, Burn's not a real guy? Hold on, I need to find this. Who was it? Was it a while ago?
It was a while ago.
Well, Crimson Viper is saying that Burn is the best deck. Burn isn't a real deck. Okay, so Terry is gonna. Okay, Terry's gonna say it. Yeah. All right.
I'll agree that it's not a very high tier deck.
No, it's not. It's not a high tier deck.
But it can certainly steal games.
And it has good. It actually does have matchups that are good. Those matchups are rarely blue. Like it's pretty much like if you're not playing blue, then Burn probably looks good.
Yeah. To a point. Like fast combo is not what they want to see.
Yeah, definitely not.
Like Burn never wants to see a turn 1 Gristlebrand.
No. Most decks don't.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, interesting. I can count how many times I've beaten a turn 1 Gristlebrand on one hand. School is heavy this semester. All right.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, Terry can kick rocks. I bet he's pretty good at it too.
Probably.
He's probably going to go outside and kick a rock, and it's actually going to be decently far, and he's going to come back and tell you about it. I could see that happening. Yeah. No, that's good. That's like I'm glad to hear that.
Walls anyway.
Yeah, when you're not kicking walls and chairs. But no, that's good that you're going to school and that you've got, you keep yourself busy. I think that's important. Combo decks are the only things that make you moan. Okay. I actually think that Burn has quite a few bad matchups, but actually quite a few. Oddly enough, though, the deck that I play is just terrible versus Burn. Terry kicks walls, not rocks. I'll tell you what deck you'll play when you grow up. Who? You need to make sure that you address the person you're talking to, Terry. Have some manners.
Joke's on you, I'm not going to grow up.
Oh no, he wants to know Crimson Viper's major. Oh. Then he's going to tell him.
Gotcha.
Okay, sorry, I missed your comment before. Gotcha.
I missed that too.
Tell him. I want to know what Terry thinks that Crimson Viper is going to grow up to be.
We gotta get Never Lucky Brian to stick. He lost his round. Never Lucky Brian.
I kind of want to go tell him. Especially if we see him on camera again and he loses again.
Yeah.
Then I think that just has to be something that he is.
Never lucky.
He's just never lucky.
Yeah.
Maybe if we could get it to stick, then maybe he'll stop being so lucky.
Yeah.
You tore your deck apart for money so that you could go to school, probably. I mean, I've definitely known a lot of people to do that, and it's paid off for them. Years down the road, you can buy your, get your
I had a friend put a down payment on a house with cards.
I could do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I legitimately could.
Comms major with journalism minor. That sounds intense. Typical Pox player response.
I feel like every time age comes up in this chat, like that's always what people respond with. I'm just old. Like I'm older than you. I'll trust you.
I think it's funny that that's kind of the go-to. Like I'm older than you.
Yeah. Just trust me. You're right. I even shaved my face, so like I probably look like 5 years younger than I do when I stream normally. So
back in my day, we used to walk uphill both ways in the snow. 5 miles.
Yeah, but Crimson Viper, that's not all a bad thing though. Like you think of it this way. Like at least you got yourself into a hobby that like can actually help with that. You know,
Sweet,
most hobbies you get into cannot help you pay for college.
Big 30s crowd, yeah.
Yep.
I'm 31 myself.
32 and switching careers. We got 36, 33. Man, I am young.
You are
I am young. I am 26.
Kyra, get off my lawn.
No.
Good, because I don't have a lawn.
Yeah, you do. I've seen your lawn. I remember we watched fireworks in your lawn that one time.
My bad.
Yeah. Dang, you're not the oldest. There you go. All right, Terry plays Magic for the girls. This is a great place to be for that. So we had to get off of Canadian
Thresh
threshold.
just doesn't do it the way it used to.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you know what? I bet Terry's at home right now, like wishing that he was sitting here, because he knows that he can't rant.
Oh yeah.
In chat.
Like it doesn't come across the same.
No.
No.
It's kind of weak, actually. That's exactly what I'm saying, Crimson Viper. Is like growing up in my household, that they looked at Magic and they were like, yeah, like why in the world are you playing that? And now they look at my hobby and they go, actually, like, you could easily sell half of it, or easily, sell parts of it, and like actually get some real life stuff, using what was just simply a hobby, You just bought Alex the new Zelda game and he told you that he'd rather watch Skylanders. That's a little sad. I take a little bit of offense to that, because seriously, that game is amazing. Future Black Red Reanimated player right here. Yeah. You still have other things to sell, but Magic's the first thing to go. Yeah. I mean, you can, a lot of Magic cards, they're going to go down in value over the years, Magic or Wizards has definitely shown that they're committed to reprinting cards.
Oh yeah.
And
quite frankly, I think that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. And even though us Legacy people still have to be a little bit terrified of what the reserve list is doing to prices, that's the only bad part. Yeah. Really. Like, if you want to play Modern, if you want to play Standard, it's affordable. It's very affordable.
Oh yeah. Terry's usually on Grixis. He's been messing around with some other stuff.
He's on Shadow.
Yeah.
He told me he was locking in on Shadow, but I don't know. I don't know anymore. I feel like Terry changes his mind every single day, so who knows? Affordable. Well, yeah. Think about it.
It really is, though.
No, really. Think about what most people do for a hobby and how much people spend on their hobbies. Really, though. Like, you go out and you work on a car. You buy a boat. You buy jet skis. You go
skiing.
You get a trailer for camping. You get hiking material. Mm-hmm. All this stuff, it depreciates in value.
You bet.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, to get into a hobby, a lot of times you have to pay multiple $100s. Even if you're hiking regularly, you're gonna get yourself a backpack. Sure. You probably want a camelback of some kind. And you're probably going to spend hundreds of dollars.
You want to have equipment for that, so
you need a tent or
sleeping bag.
And I'm just giving an example, but really, like, if you want to play Modern, yeah, it's affordable. Mm-hmm. It is. If you want to get into a hobby and it costs you less than $500 to get into that hobby, I would call that affordable.
And the thing is, with Magic, it doesn't have to be all at one time. You can kind of go and tinker a little bit with it. You can start off with a single deck and then work your way into other formats and other decks as you move along.
And there are a lot of systems that can keep you there are different sites and stuff that let you rent Magic cards.
Oh yeah.
And you can actually like rent and then give it back, and then you can like switch your decks all the time. Yeah, exactly, Claymore 1. Paintball is expensive. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, don't get me wrong, there are cheap hobbies out there, but I'm just saying, like, outside of Legacy, I think it is an extremely affordable hobby. and it holds value better than almost any other hobby that I've ever seen. Yeah, he's always wanted to play Agrolome. That's why he recommended it to me, and now I've been on the deck, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, MG Flory. Yeah, that's exactly right. 1K and less for Modern is basically every deck in the format.
Yep.
And that 1K stays at 1K. So, you know, you are able to kind of move around and, like, have some liquidity value in your cards.
You know, that filthy pleb, tell me this. When you sleep, what do you sleep on? Just question. Just a question.
How much
if
did
you're gonna
that mattress cost?
Yeah. If you're gonna consider sleeping a hobby, then I need to know what you spent on that hobby, which means what did you spend on your mattress and in your
Bed
sheets?
frame,
How much are those pillows?
Yeah.
Like I want to know how much you spent, because if you're serious about your hobby, you put money into it. You know, yeah, Coke. Yes, Coke is an expensive hobby.
Cars.
Yeah, cars is super expensive hobby, and people love that. You know, like I have multiple mechanic friends who put a lot into fixing their cars.
Yeah, $5 for 3 to 4 hours of entertainment.
No label kills. Come on, family friendly. You sleep on your deck boxes full of legacy decks. How to sell the mattress and fill out to afford them.
There you go.
Oh, that is a wonderful answer. Thank you. Yeah, see, your bed cost you $2,300. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more than that's actually less than my legacy deck, but still. I think I made my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can buy a decent legacy deck for $2,000.
Yeah, I mean, one of our friends here, we all went down to Las Vegas for the
Grand Prix.
Yeah, the Grand Prix down there, and he came, had a good time, ended up going and playing some craps for a little bit.
Yeah.
Came back with $1,000. Yep. And instead of going, you know, and I think he only put like $50 to $100 down.
Sure.
He came out huge.
Yeah.
And then he goes, you know what?
I'm gonna buy into Legacy.
Bought Death and Taxes on the spot, and he's been really working on his Death and Taxes play.
Yeah.
Which I think is freaking awesome. You know, like. So pretty much all I'm trying to say is that if you want to get into Legacy, just go gamble.
Yeah. That's the moral of the story, right?
That's the moral of the story. That was the whole point. Yeah.
I think the reason people say it's expensive is because they get into it in high school, and for high school hobby, 1K is expensive, but for someone with a real job, it isn't. Yeah. But again, like, even at that time frame, if you space it out over time, you don't have to buy in for 1K immediately. Like, you can work your way into that. You can start with, like, standard as opposed to starting with modern and work your way into that. That's perfectly reasonable, even at a high school, like, employment level.
Right. All right, guys. So I need a vote. We've got Theo versus Jeremiah. So this is Byrne versus Grixis Delver. They are both undefeated. And then we've got, on table 2, we've got Trace versus Calvin. That's Sultai Nickfit versus, I want to say, Grixis Control. Dun, dun, dun. Cast your votes.
Burn first because it'll end fast.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. It's cardboard versus actual metal and engineering parts. Hey man, the cardboard goes up in price. The cards don't.
Burn first works. Looks like people want burn.
Yeah, burn first works. Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, let's let me get that all set up for you guys, and then we'll jump over there. All right, I'll get that backup match set up for you as well. Looks like that's already underway, which is Trace on Sultai.
Don't think of it as cardboard. Think of it as fancy cardboard with
Whoa.
awesome art on it.
Whoa.
That changes everything.
Wow. I never thought of it that way.
Mind blown.
Yeah, money's just paper too. Good point. One collectible. Yeah. Yeah.
And with any like collectible thing or any like hobby, you're gonna have that same thing though, right? Like when you get into a hobby, you want to continue spending money on that hobby, right?
Yeah.
Like
It's something you want to upkeep with. You know,
Yeah.
it's something you like spending your time on.
Exactly. So I think that's kind of a false dichotomy there.
Yeah, good point, Crimson Viper. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but I don't think that people should be getting into Magic as an investment. I think
No.
people should be getting into it because they enjoy it and have fun with it.
Yeah, and if
Then if it holds its value, great. And if it doesn't, you should be just as happy. But
I mean, so for instance, I built a cube.
yeah,
I did not build a cube as an investment.
yeah.
I built the cube, and then next thing you know, I found that a lot of my cube cards were foil.
Mhm.
And I made the idiotic decision, really though, like I can't stress that enough. I made the idiotic decision of foiling it out.
Label kills, a lot of those do have very high, the entry point is way high, and keeping up with your equipment is also way high. So me, I ski all the time.
Yeah, he's a ski instructor.
So I'm
he
buying
knows.
new equipment every second year because I
Okay.
ski over 200 days a season. So it does add up. And for a casual person, it's going to be a little bit less. Like you might get 3 or 4 years out of your equipment. But if you're honestly trying to have it as a hobby, you're going to spend money on it.
Yeah. All right, so let's just catch up real quick. We had a turn 1 Delver. On turn 2, the Delver did not flip, and now we're seeing a Ponder. And then a Rift Bolt was suspended on turn 1 for Theo.
All right, here comes Inquisition.
Okay, so we're going to see 2 Lightning Bolts, a Chain Lightning, a Grim Lavamancer, and a Searing Blaze. So
I think you have to take the Lava
I think you do too. For a couple, yeah, for a couple of reasons. But this is a wonderful hand from Theo. He can cast everything but the Searing Blaze, and when he does find the mana for the Searing Blaze, he'll have landfall and he'll be able to kill a creature.
I don't like
this
that.
This is very surprising to me. I
don't like that.
In fact, I'm not a fan of that. Okay.
Yeah, I still don't like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, not a fan of where that Rift Bolt pointed. I think he should have just gone face. Here's a Goblin Guide. This is a 2/2 haster, so this is going to come in for 2.
All right, here comes Fork Bolt.
Yep.
Kill that Goblin Guide.
And here is a new Delver.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a
So
land
here comes
here.
second land.
I fully expect this to just be a Searing Blaze.
Yep.
If he doesn't cast Searing Blaze here, then he has to wait till he finds another land. I do expect this to get countered. Yeah. Probably would have been a little better for Jeremiah if it was a Daze, but he's going to Force Pitch Force. He does take a damage doing this.
Him to Torak plus 1 damage.
Yeah.
I think Burns okay with that.
Yeah, it is. Brainstorm's definitely a good card coming off the top, though.
Is Jeremiah Hellbent now? Oh, he's drawing into Brainstorm, but is that his only card left? I think it is.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Carrion Lich, I absolutely agree with you. Thinking of Magic as an investment is a terrible idea. If it ends up being an investment while you're doing what you love, then so be it.
Yeah.
Then so be it. But and that's kind of where I'm at with Magic right now. Is like, I've got I've got a serious investment in Magic at the moment. But at the same time, if it lost its value, it was never about the investment in the first place. So
Sure.
I wouldn't really care. All right, so yep,
yeah.
Lightning Bolt's gonna get taken off of this, and this makes a lot of sense.
Jeremiah does need to pay for that, but I don't think he'll matter.
No, I think he's got no hand, so it's fine.
Bolt on top.
Yep, and he's just going to
Perfectly
use his
fine.
turn to take care of the Goblin Guide. All right, land number.
Probably should have waited on that. Get a look at the top of the deck. Could have drawn into that wasteland and gotten an extra draw this turn.
Really interesting that Jeremiah actually played. Why is he playing his wastelands?
5 mana does get him up to Force of Will, but
I don't think that's what you want to do.
Here's the thing: Wasteland also helps you play around price.
Oh, price. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, I can see that. Yeah. All right, makes sense. Like in my mind, I was just thinking, I was like, don't you just want to keep those, and if you can find a brainstorm, then you can get rid of them. But yeah, I guess you do want to be able to do something if Price of Progress comes along. He should be at 12. Did he not? Did he not take his life off of Force?
Yeah, we think he should be at 12.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he did take his life off of it, but well, we'll see.
We'll find out.
Yeah. All right, let's delve away some cards.
No,
Let's
13 should be right. 13 should be right. He's at an odd number, and he's only taken even points of damage.
Yep.
Except for the Force.
Except for the Force, yep. That should be right.
All
right, Searing Blaze.
Searing Blaze. That's going to trigger. Eidolon's also going to trigger.
Wow, it looks like he's actually going to double up on this 5/5. So this is going to be 3 damage to the creature, 3 damage to the player, and then, yeah. Is he...
Attacking in. Offers up the trade.
Obviously, no, this is not a trade that he's going to take, and then we're going to see a Chain Lightning to finish off. And
Jeremiah does have a Spell Pierce.
Jeremiah has double red. He can actually throw this chain back.
He could. I think that's what Theo is thinking about right now. Just going to pass the turn.
What?
Interesting.
What is going on right now? And just oh wow, just a pass back? I think I would have attacked. I don't know.
Hard to say. I don't think that Jeremiah can race quite yet, but it's close.
Yeah. This is a Monastery Swift Spear, so he'll take 2.
Another Eidolon in hand.
Yeah, and I think he's going to cast it too.
So
Goblin Guide.
Goblin Guide.
Down to 10, and you think he's going to go to 8 to cast the second Eidolon and just hope that seals the deal? It could.
So in with everyone. Block on Eidolon, play a second Eidolon. So lightning bolt on top.
That lightning bolt might do it. There's a daze in Jeremiah's hand. So if Theo cracks fetch here,
sure.
Okay, he's just gonna lightning bolt. Okay.
Okay, down to 5. And
yep, and then damage.
Takes damage. Okay. So Theo takes game 1.
Man, burn is so bad. You know, the deck's not even good. It can't even win.
Does Forking Chain Lightning proc Eidolon?
No, I think you're not casting anything.
It's not a cast. It's it's just put on the stack.
So you're copying a spell. All right. Oh look, these guys are done too. All right, Matt, entertain the people for a moment. Burn is not a deck. You're right. Burn's not a deck. It's so bad. Didn't I just barely say that?
Burn is not a deck.
Didn't I just barely say how bad Burn was?
Except when it is. And then it's really a deck. Yeah, Burn's one of those decks that you always have to kind of keep in the back of your mind. But it's not a huge percentage of the metagame, nor should it be. Burn's not a good deck. Yeah, that's fair. Like, Burn... Burn isn't going to take down a large tournament anytime soon, I don't think. You're rooting for Burn? Lost Mystery. Yeah, I think Burn's pretty awesome. I think Grixis Delver is pretty awesome too. Cast Sphere of Law against. Yeah, that's pretty good. Or Chill, cards like that. Burn is like Belcher, disrespect it and you'll suffer. Yeah, I feel like Belcher is a little bit different in that it has a bit more of a I just win factor to it, but kind of similar. What if someone brought back Big Red Burn? I don't know, man.
Burn's like Belcher, disrespect it and you'll suffer. Yeah, I mean, I do think there's definitely something to say about that. I tend to favor strategies that just get wrecked by Burn. So to me, Burn's a real deck. but honestly, like I think that most decks that are blue aren't too terrified.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: if you want to be able to play a little bit of Legacy, and you don't want to spend any money on it,
Burn is a very affordable option.
Then Burn's your best option.
Yeah.
It actually has some play to it too. Like you
need 2 more LED. Yeah.
Dude, oh man, they're
pricey.
Yeah. They are pricey.
Glad I got mine when I did.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, you got yours right before they went crazy.
Right before the spike. Yeah. Got very lucky. Yeah, Nick Fit, pretty cheap. You still have expensive duels and the like, but $168 and $164. That's not too bad. Yeah. All right. Well, opening hands are being drawn. Jeremiah's got... Looked like Wasteland was his only land, so he's going to take them all again. Theo... Oh, no. Theo didn't look terribly happy with his hand, but... We'll see.
Lost Mystery got his for 168, 164. That's not miserable.
That's not bad.
That's actually really good, isn't it?
It's pretty decent.
Especially right now.
Yeah, it might be another one-lander. Can't quite tell.
Honestly, if this is a deck that can keep a one-lander. I mean, so is Grixis Delver.
Jeremiah has a lot more than one land, though.
In fact, in a matchup like this, I'd even say that one land is probably pretty good. Two is probably the most preferred, but yes, there are definitely non-blue versions of Nick Fit. In fact, I'd say that right now the most common version is an Abzan version, but if it's not Abzan, then it would be Sultai. So
pretty good start here on Theo's side.
Definitely.
Turn 1 Goblin Guide's always what you want to see. Let's see if it gets across for anything.
I will say this though. It's probably also what Jeremiah probably wants to see the most. It makes the removal in his hand relevant, but at the same time, you'd rather get this Goblin Guide killed on turn 1 than your Eidolon on turn 2.
Oh yeah, easily.
It's dreadful. I feel like it'd be good.
I feel like as long as you can draw out of it, you're fine.
Yeah.
But
all right, so the reveal on the Goblin Guide is going to be a Delver, so no extra lands, and we've got a Fatal Push. Yep.
Okay.
This is exactly what I mean. It's like, all right, well, if this gets to pave the way for something much, much better, then so be it. But Theo's got 2 Price of Progress in hand.
Sure.
I think that's worth
We
noting.
saw like how much or how few basics Jeremiah has. He sometimes has to play out wastelands to kill his own lands. He might not have any.
Previous Grixis Delver decks played 0.
Yeah.
0 basics. However, it's also a deck that can function really, really well off of 2 lands. And not only that, but let's say your opponent casts Price of Progress, even if your Daze doesn't counter the Price of Progress, it does actually take 2 damage off, which is something to note as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Red Elemental Blast taking care of that Delver, and second land for Theo here.
Definitely interesting. I didn't think that there was that much blue that you wanted something like that from a Grixis Delver deck, but
Lava Spike, yeah. 3 to the face.
All right, Liliana, the Last Hope is the draw there.
So many Underground Seas.
Yeah, no. Okay, there's red.
Okay.
Okay. So this is gonna find a volcanic island, and we'll see what Jeremiah decides to play.
Jeremiah down to 15. We do know that there are 2 Price Progress in Theo's hand.
Yes, and Jeremiah looks like he's gonna cast Liliana.
Exquisite Firecraft as well.
Super good. Yeah. Yep, there's Liliana, and this is probably just gonna uptick. This is not a terrifying card to Theo because his creatures are haste, and even if he's like keeping Eidolon from doing anything for a couple turns, it's really not all that relevant to the game plan. I would be very surprised if Jeremiah killed with zombies.
Oh yeah, I don't think Theo is terribly worried about this. Interesting. So here comes price number 1. And wow.
He's about to show price number 2. Yeah, that's just it. So Jeremiah had a bunch
8 damage off of lands alone.
I mean, he can crack fetch and fail to find.
Yeah.
And that saves him 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't have the counter magic and just double Price of Progress and done.
Burn takes it.
Burn, being the awful deck that it is now 3-0 in the tournament.
Yeah.
Poor deck can't even win a game. Jeez. Unbelievable.
Should give it to Brian. Never lucky Brian.
Never lucky Brian. All right, guys, let's jump over. We're gonna check out Calvin and Trace's match. This is Grixis Control versus Sultai Nikvit. And I'm not sure what game this is, but we've got a Snapcaster and a Jace on one side, and a Leovold and a Tarmogoyf on the other.
Leovold, yeah.
Leovold's super good against Jace. So if Leovold decides to plus and target Trace gets to draw a card. If he decides to brainstorm, he has to put 2 cards from his hand back.
Yeah, and here comes a
Baleful Strix that does nothing.
That cannot draw a card.
And then here's
Liliana that can't afford to tick up.
Can't afford to tick up. Okay, all right. So
you could still tick up, but like
you didn't want to. I mean, yeah, you tick up and target nothing.
Tick up and target nothing.
Yeah, that's.
But like, do you bother?
There's a lot of value on the board, and honestly, Trace has quite a bit to get through.
Yeah, we got it, Captain. The question is, do you bother ticking up and like drawing your opponent a card? But
I mean, you're either ticking down and getting your Snapcaster, or you're ticking up and doing nothing. Now, the Baleful Strix is definitely annoying, but we'll see what Trace has to do. It
looks like that's a tick up for nothing, and Trace with another land. We saw that last turn Calvin fate sealed with Jace because Brainstorm would not do anything of value. Draw no cards, put the top 2 back. Or put 2 from your hand back. Alright, so Baleful Strix trades with the Tarmogoyf. And here comes Eternal Witness. And that's going to get back Tarmogoyf. We do. Little wizards in the building.
Yeah, that's definitely Brian's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She'll just run from one end of the room to the other screaming. So... Eternal Witness, huh?
Alright, so bounce your Leovold.
Okay.
Trace draws a card.
And Thought sees you. Yeah.
Thought sees you, get rid of your Leovold.
Your future Sneak and Show apprentice. No, seriously, this is great. This is great. Terry is trying to teach Brian's daughter the word Gristlebrand.
Nice.
It's a good word to know if you're going to be a Sneak and Show player.
Oh yeah. So we're looking at.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, an artifact's in the graveyard now. This is going to pump the Goyf a little bit. It's gonna be threatening planeswalkers, that's for sure.
There's a Surgical, another Goyf, and I didn't quite catch the other card. So here comes Surgical. Calvin gonna fetch in response. No. That's just in his hand. Okay.
Well,
take out the Baleful Strix.
So he's gonna make his Goyf small again. Yeah, he could have just killed the Ewit, but he decided to go for the Baleful Strix, and yeah, it's gonna hurt.
Gets back Snapcaster.
Yeah, Snapcaster's a good card, except for the whole thing where like every card in the graveyard is just a cantrip that does nothing. Well, I guess you got the Leovold, huh?
Yeah, Leovold.
Okay, but it's fine. It's fine.
So Calvin's got a couple choices. He could Thoughtseize again, take a card, or he could Brainstorm or Ponder. Looks like he's opting to Thoughtseize.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna take this Abrupt Decay. Nope, Goyf.
Takes
okay.
the Goyf.
So he's gonna let this Liliana die.
I think he's okay with that.
He's reconsidering. The Goyfs are large. I still think the Abrupt Decay matters more, but I don't know.
This is a little bit easier to manage with Jason play, so you're able to bounce the Goyf.
Right.
And then there aren't profitable blocks, really. You can tick up and kill the Ewit.
Alright, so he's gonna fetch end of turn. This is probably just deck thinning. I don't think that there's really any other reason to fetch at the moment.
Yeah, Trace just doesn't want to draw another land.
Thinning out is the percentage is just so small that
for sure.
I don't even know that it's worth it. But you never know. Calvin should bounce the Ewit. You're right. We want an exciting game. That would be sweet.
I'll just Thoughtseize you, and then I'll bounce your Ewit.
Your turn. You can do your thing.
Go. So if you're Trace, I think you have to keep going after Jace.
I think so too.
And I'd like to see both attack Jace here. Your Ewit's gonna die.
I don't think there's a whole lot. Oh, yeah, I think that's okay.
Consecrated Sphinx.
Or Skittles. Dude, Consecrated Sphinx is so freaking sweet.
Or Skittles, yeah.
If you want to play Consecrated Sphinx though, do it in Cube.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good in Cube.
Card is great.
It really does.
That was a dumb standard though. Consecrated Sphinx and Phantasmal Image.
You know what my yeah, that was stupid. You know what's fun though? You know what's fun? It's fun casting Forbid when you have Consecrated Sphinx out. I think that's like my favorite like two card combo to use with that card. All right, so yep, Liliana's off the board, and both.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, Jace has been preserved, and now I don't think
Jace versus Tarmogoyf.
I don't think that Trace has fetched his Dryad Arbor yet, so I think that's probably what he's going to end up getting off of this fetch land.
Sure. A little bit more pressure on Jace.
Yeah, it's something more than nothing.
If Calvin has like any copies of like
yeah, I expect this to be a downtick. Comeback City.
We'll see.
I am not sold on that, my friend.
Comes Ponder.
Crimson Viper, I'm not gonna lie, I have not stayed up to date with Modern. I would definitely feel confident playing it, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
From what I know about Modern, and I don't really play Modern much these days, is if you're playing a control deck, you probably want it to be of the blue-white variety. But, I mean, you can always give it a go. Like, that's the cool thing about formats like Modern and Legacy. There's lots of room.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Oh, this paid off so heavily.
Wow.
So Trace did not fetch for Dryad Arbor. And now he gets to cast Titania.
Wow.
He gets a fetch back. And now he's going to be able to make 2 5/3s. All right, I need to pull this card up.
Wow.
Please tell me this doesn't die by the time I pull it up.
Well, it's not dead yet, so. What a draw.
All right. Let's show you guys a cool card. Because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this card. Ta-da!
Titania, Protector of Argoth.
Yeah, what a draw. Seriously. So when this card comes into play, you get to return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield, which Trace did. He grabbed a fetch land. And then it says whenever a land you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you create a 5/3 green elemental creature token. So not only is Titania a 5/3, but Trace has now 2 fetches.
Yep.
One of which can get Dryad Arbor, and he'll have 2 more 5/3s plus a 1/1.
Oh,
and this is a massive amount of pressure that just came out of nowhere.
Oh yeah. That's insane. And the ability to make 2 5/3s right away. Like,
yeah, now he's got lethal on board.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Like, what, Jace?
So I guess if you're Calvin, you're looking for like Deluge.
You can't date. Well,
something.
I guess. Does that even? Yeah. Deluge should be good.
Gurmag,
yeah, that doesn't do what you want to do.
That's not enough.
It's good. It's good.
All right, stops lethal for a turn.
A turn. All right, so we're gonna see a fetch here. Down to 14 false trace. And he's going to fetch the other as well.
Yep.
So he's going to search his deck for 2 forest / swamp cards. We'll see if he gets the Dryad Arbor. I would, but you know, I love getting the Dryad Arbor out of my deck for sure.
Oh, he can sack the Arbor to the tower and get another. You can get another 5/3.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I did not catch that. Who pulled that up?
That's a great one, Carrion Lich. That's a great one.
Oh, Carrion Lich, you're a genius. That is so sweet.
Wow. Trace saw it.
Yeah, Trace found. Yeah, right away. He's like, "Yep, let's just get rid of that Dryad Arbor." Oh man. Okay, that's 5 more. That's 4 more points of damage than I thought he had.
Wow. What a draw. Attack you for 20.
Block Titania.
Block Titania. What else do you got?
Fatal push a
Fatal
token.
push one. Okay.
Okay.
So that keeps him alive for a turn.
So now
Down.
so
I'm assuming they all went to face.
Titania's dead, right?
Titania should be dead. It's being blocked by the Gurmag. Let's see what happens.
Choke.
Okay. Titania should be dead, right?
Yeah, she's a 5/3.
okay.
Okay. So now Jace is stuck minusing. So
it has to minus, and then you have to have a blocker or a Snapcaster and Fatal Push or something to deal with that last token.
Snapcaster would be a ridiculously good draw. Okay, so he's gonna brainstorm. So this says that he did not draw what he needed to live. So now he needs 2 answers from this brainstorm.
So Snapcaster would be your best draw?
Yes, it would.
You could block
he's
one
putting a Force of Will and a land back on top of his deck. And the thing is like Trace is attacking for lethal, but like Trace is still at 13. He's got even if this gets answered, like Trace has a lot of powerful top decks.
Kelvin trying to think it through. Plays land. 1 card in hand. Passes the turn back. Let's see if it's a good one. Alright, so Trace draws Veteran Explorer.
Attack for 10.
Attack for 10.
Click.
Vendilion Click. Not enough on its own.
Nope. Here's my hand of Veteran Explorer.
Blocks 1 and dies.
Wow. Whoa, not 12. Okay, so we're jumping into this match a little late, so all we really know is that Trace has a game.
I'd imagine it's 1-1 because didn't we see them sideboarding earlier?
I think so. I could ask. I could go out there and ask. I'm gonna ask him.
All right,
we'll see.
We will find out.
Nick Fit 1-2-0.
That was match. Okay. So Nick Fit 1-2-0. Wow. Okay, so Nick Fit's 2-1.
Sounds to me like a nice fit. I have never seen Titania
that was wild.
Like overpowered in a Legacy game. And I've only seen her cast in Legacy like what, 2-3 times max?
Sure.
But still, usually I just see her and then they kill her.
Yeah.
Just like done. Like I'm not dealing with that crap. No way. That was so cool.
Very cool. So Burns 3-0.
Burns 3-0. This Nick Fit deck's 2-1.
Grixis Delvers 2-1.
Grixis Delvers 2-1.
We don't really know.
I actually think we only have one 3-0 in the event because, like I
should
said,
be,
our turnout was
just
smaller
the
today.
One 3-0.
Yeah. But we should have a 4th round.
Yeah.
So, well, you can come out, hang out with us for a moment.
And Theo's already played against both of those decks that are 2-1 that we've seen. So
yeah, maybe. Did the cookie recipe get submitted to the Discord? Who was supposed to do that, Crimson Viper?
Do what? Submit.
Are you Crimson Viper?
Recipe.
Bryce, and it was submitted.
Oh, yeah, Bryce. Okay, then I guess it got submitted, Crimson Viper.
It's just way up there.
Yeah, you'll have to find it.
There you go.
Or make Bryce resubmit it or something. What's your record, Brian?
2-1.
2-1.
Beat Bryce.
Okay.
You would beat Bryce. That poor fool.
He got Academy Rector with an Evolutionary Leap in play into Omniscience. Very first card off the top of his library off the Evolutionary Leap is Academy Rector. Academy Rector's into Sandworm Convergence. Getting another Academy Rector. Like, he gets 3 in a row. But he doesn't cast this one off the Omniscience for some reason. He has a Phyrexian Tower left up. I have a Spellcurse in hand. He casts his Overwhelming Splendor off the Omniscience and only has 1 mana able to pay for it. Because he didn't play the Academy Rector.
Hey,
he still wins the game, but like...
While you're here,
What?
Where's the Discord link?
You should just be able to like do !Discord in the chat.
Oh, is it bot?
Yeah, the bot should have a...
Yeah.
It's !Discord, huh?
I think that's it.
Let's try that.
Yeah,
There you go.
that should be
Okay.
the link to get people on.
Thank you. I can never remember these things.
That's why you have R. Jorgensen, but I guess he's not there.
Yeah, he's not here tonight. I'm not
Sure.
really sure what's going on.
He's got Captain. So 2-1 for Brian as well. Got a lot of interesting 2-1s that could happen or
Definitely.
like pair up. Brian might actually be paired up against Burn.
Actually, I think he'll have to be.
Because Theo's beat a lot of the 2-1 players already. We don't know how Death Shadow is done.
I do know that Brian feels pretty favored versus Burn. I do know that.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's a decent matchup. Like
yeah, he kind of gets to go all in on combo and like doesn't really and his deck's so good at fetching up basics early.
Any combo deck's gonna be pretty good. Have a pretty good Burn matchup.
Yeah.
Even creature based like Brian is.
Right. Well, cool. We still have, 10 more
A little bit of
minutes.
time.
10 more minutes. What do I get to rant about this time?
What were we talking about before?
We were talking about
like,
Magic.
and stuff,
Magic as an investment, like hobbies and like
Yeah.
different stuff like that. I feel like we got to the end of that. Remember the moral of the story was you need to gamble to get your cards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I actually never use it. I really should because I like all you people and I probably should interact with you a lot more. But I don't know. Hey Kyre, remember how me and Bryce discovered that the Strix was the best creature Tuesday? Yeah, I talked about that. We started the Church of the Black Owl.
Something like that.
Something? I'm a part of this church and I don't even know. Ugh. You're making Bug Strix Reanimator control deck?
Bug
What the
Strix
heck?
Reanimator control deck.
The Church of the Black. Oh, the Black Owl of
Black
Death.
Owl of
Thank
Death.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
I know there was black, and I know there was owl, and something about things decaying and dying or whatever.
Yeah. Memory not a strong suit.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I'm ADD, so I like things go into my head and then they're just gone. Ocho Cinco, a Hall of Fame player. Why or why not? I don't know.
Did they play Magic?
Honestly, okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there right now. I'm like pretty bad with names, and like I'm sorry if this opinion's not popular, but I really don't care who's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I really don't. Like, I would care if I made the Hall of Fame because it would affect me directly. But, like, I don't know.
Hall of Fame's a cool thing to have.
Sure.
But, you know, whatever.
Yeah, not something.
I'm not too worried about it.
Me neither.
Does not affect me.
Oh wait, you're talking about Ocho Cinco. My bad. Sorry, I didn't even read the name you said. Yeah, he probably should be. I actually do have an opinion about that. This is actually not an Ocho Cinco jersey. I know it looks like it. Yeah, thank you.
So
For some reason I did
player?
not catch that. No, this is actually an Eifert jersey.
Then shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Not a Magic player.
Not a Magic player.
Not a Magic player.
I just like skipped right past the name and just went to like Hall of Fame. Like I read it and it just did not register in my head for some odd reason. Yeah, he could be in the Hall of Fame, but I think my opinion still stands there. Is like that'd be good for them, but it doesn't really impact anything.
I don't watch enough football to have an opinion one way or the other.
I have not been a football fan for long, so probably only like the last like 5 or 6 years have I actually been watching football, and I've been a Bengals fan the whole time.
It's good.
So
yeah,
my knowledge is limited. Sorry, label kills. I need to get to know my history better.
Football season starting up soon, though, eh?
Yes, our fantasy draft is this Sunday.
No.
Yeah, gonna crush some people. Gonna get all the good picks, and they're not. That's how it's gonna work.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly don't know what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. Definitely excited. Yeah. Ocho was great in his prime. I do know, as far as people I know about, he's one of the people I do know about. But yeah, what time? Oh, 7, and we're all gonna meet up at Rogers. So he's meh, not a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. It sounded like they called time or possibly
round. I don't know.
Round.
We'll see. Yeah, looks like our next round's gonna start up.
Pairings, cool. Okay. Theo versus Josh. Trace versus Jeremiah.
Okay. So Josh, we've got Josh back on camera. Let's watch Burn versus Miracles, and then because that'll be our
interesting
pseudo finals. I guess Theo's the only undefeated player.
Yeah, for sure. Josh would be the pair up.
Biggest sleeper in this year's fantasy draft. What do you consider a sleeper? Are you just talking about somebody who's going to go later than they should, or are you talking about a player who is
like
pretty
off the radar?
Yeah, that's like completely off the radar, who's probably going to come in and kill it. That's like answer me that question first, and then maybe I'll let you know what I think. Jarvis Landry? Oh, dude, I don't know. He's on the Brown. I don't know. He'll probably have a good season, Terry. Like he probably will. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if he does better with the Browns than he did with the Dolphins, but I don't know. Tyrod Taylor's already got like a hurt hand. Like who knows if he's even going to start now? Like
All right, so someone who either hasn't done much but will blow up, or a rookie people underestimate.
I'm biased. I don't know.
Think Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. Yeah, and so did Kamara. Like, everybody knew that Kamara could be good, but nobody expected him to do what he did. It's Teriyaki. It's Teriyaki, the Honda Civic driver. Yep, that's right. That's him. All right, so we got Josh over here.
Certainly drives an expensive Honda Civic, though. All right. Last round.
Like, I don't know. I've had my mind on. I've had my eyes on a player that, like, I really don't know what he's gonna do, and like I feel like I'm like being super biased because he's a Bengal, but like
I think Luck will be middle of the pack.
I think he'll be okay.
Like high middle.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see on Luck. Saquon Barkley, I'll settle down. You can't put all of your faith into a running back on a team who throws the ball every down.
Let's get the timer up.
We didn't get updated, did we?
No.
Something like this.
Yes.
Probably pretty close.
Sure. Why not?
You had a good talk with him. Told him you'd draft him if he did what you wanted him to. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh man, Terry's gonna draft me if I do good." That's incentive right there.
Certainly isn't the millions of dollars. All right, so Josh starting us off. Plays an island. Here comes Goblin Guide. Josh deciding whether he wants to force it or not.
Yeah, looks like he's going to. Oh wow! You got Jameis Winston to not assault women. That's great. That's great. You said you believe in chances, cool. Just not for. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So counterbalance comes down for Josh.
Yeah, this
is
huge in this matchup. The Miracles is filled with 1s and 2s, and so is Burn. Yeah. So we're definitely going to see.
Suspended Riftbolt. Riftbolt's a pretty good card in the matchup.
Definitely.
Just being a 3-drop, it is able to get past that counterbalance. Usually.
Yeah, I mean, a delayed effect is always going to be good. Especially well.
It also allows him to keep up his mana, play around things like Spell Pierce a little bit.
Yeah, it is going to help around Spell Pierce. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Spell Pierces until the next game, and that's kind of why I paused there. As I was like, well, maybe it might not.
We saw one.
Might not be the best right here, no. But it's going to be relevant, I would assume.
So here comes Riftbolt, and Josh not even bothering to reveal to counterbalance. I wonder if Josh has many 3s in his deck. I don't think he's on the Mentor plan, so he might not have, like, he might have what? Council's Judgment at 3?
Yeah.
That's about it?
I think so. I think he has some Mentors in the board right now, but
he's got Back to Basics. Okay.
Back to Basics is terrible.
Yeah, he's got one in hand as well. This is not AK Miracles. He's running Think Twice is his card draw of choice in that slot. Sulfuric Vortex. That's a card.
So good in this match.
That is a card.
So good in this match.
Wow. Okay.
Ugh.
Accumulated Knowledge. So you draw cards equal to the number of accumulated knowledges in all graveyards, +1.
Yeah, he's playing Think Twice right now, so yep. I don't think it's wonderful, but it is what it is. Pauper All-Star.
Yeah, if you can't find specifically Council's Judgment, this is going to be a pretty quick game.
Oh, he's got a Teferi.
Okay.
This is still just bad, though. Well, no, Teferi can get rid of Sulfuric Vortex.
Only
yeah, for a couple turns. That's good. That's probably good enough.
Probably.
He might be able to find an answer.
We know that Josh has Baneslayer, so if he could get that going and get the Vortex off.
Oh, if you can, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We don't know if Baneslayer's in the main or the side, though. I think we only saw it in game 2 or 3 last time, so
yeah,
I could easily
could definitely
see
be a sideboard card. I could also see Josh having it in the main as kind of.
Oh yeah, good call, Filthy Pleb. Good call. You can Teferi it and then Fate Seal it when it's on the top.
Yep.
Good call.
Jace is down.
I would
see if it stays.
I mean, it could. Counterbalance is there. It's hanging out.
Yeah.
It could protect Jace.
For sure.
It's possible. Yeah. He's already got 4 damage with the Vortex. He'd be okay with it either way.
Here comes Price of Progress.
This is going to do 2 damage.
That's about as good as it's going to get there.
Yeah, that's
no reveal off of.
Not even going to check. Yeah, Theo has Vortex main. That is right, Nate. This is game 1. He got a main board him because of Gristlebrand and Batterskull. Yeah, turn 1 Gristlebrand, and then you're like, yeah, well, I got turn 3 Sulfuric Vortex.
Just you wait.
Just wait.
I got something for you.
Oh yeah, on turn 3 I'm going to cast an enchantment.
2, is that correct?
Yeah, double lightning bolt.
Yeesh. All right, well, Teferi has to get rid of the Vortex so he doesn't die.
And then he has to fade yeah. Did he really miss on the 1-drop flip off the counterbalance? Counterbalance has not countered a single card yet.
Yeah, counterbalance has not countered a single card yet.
That's embarrassing. You may want to have a talk with your counterbalance afterward. Make sure you know that was not okay. Obviously, it doesn't matter if Gristlebrand hits turn 1 card.
Obviously.
Whoa. When did things get so hostile?
All right, so 3rd from the top.
God, he gets all mad at me when I point out the obvious.
See what happens.
Land number 5.
Definitely
not what he's looking for.
Okay. So you're saying there's a chance.
There's definitely a chance. Looks like he's going to shuffle. Was it land back to basics? That's pretty terrible.
Let's get rid of that.
Definitely.
Scared of D&T? I think D&T is a deck to be scared of.
Yeah,
actually.
I think it's a great deck right now. Yeah, and he draws a land, not what he's looking for. Okay. And he's got Spell Pierce in hand, which is also doing a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, 5 lands in play on Theo's side. These cards are not falling in Josh's favor.
Definitely not. And here's a Preordained, so he's just going to put both those cards back on bottom, and we see another Teferi. Not really what he's looking for. So he's going to draw a card off this Teferi and
plays a land. He's going to untap, so he'll have 6 mana open.
Yep.
But not a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and here's a pass.
Pass back.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Josh has gotten so lucky with Theo top decking a whole lot of nothing.
So the top should be the Vortex.
Yeah, so I expect to see a Fate Seal here.
We see Teferi first. Draw his island.
Yep. So
Jace draw.
he's gonna. Wow.
I guess he's just looking to counter, but
He doesn't have one though, right?
he has Spell Pierce and that's it.
Spell Pierce doesn't do it.
Spell Pierce does not do it. There's no 3 to put on top. You could fetch and try to get a 3 on top.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, you could.
I mean, it is a little bit. All right, so there's a Snapcaster, so he can.
He does have a Snapcaster.
Yeah.
What is he? Oh, so
Snapcaster,
he's
Spell Pierce.
Spell Pierce, Snapcaster, Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, so he's not
ambitious.
just dead, but he is going to 1.
He has a Teferi in play. Yes, that is correct, Sun Dodger. He sure does. He's got one in hand too.
Yep. Teferi would not stop the Sulfuric Vortex from dealing 2 damage to Josh immediately.
Is that what he told you, Terry? That doesn't sound like him at all.
He can Snapcaster plow his Snapcaster as well, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
But not if Vortex is in play. You wouldn't gain life.
Yeah, you definitely do not want the Vortex to resolve.
So here comes Vortex. Let's see what happens.
Yep. Do we
Top
get lucky?
card.
No. Think twice.
Spell Pierce.
And we'll see a fetch there. He does have a counterspell in graveyard? Does he really? I don't think
No, he would have.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember seeing one earlier, so yep, he's just gonna flash back.
Yeah, I
Spell Pierce.
don't believe there is a counterspell in graveyard. There's a Force of Will in graveyard, which I suppose he could have like snap Force of Will.
He could have.
But
And now he's in a position where he can swords his creature, which doesn't get him up above 3 life though.
all right, Brainstorm, draw off of Teferi.
Attack for 2.
Fate Seal now.
Stays
Says
on
leave
top.
it on top. Never a good sign if you're Theo.
No. What's in Theo's hand? I think
he has 1 burn spell.
it's Lightning Bolt.
5 mana. Here comes Teferi.
Oh, he has 2 cards. Lightning Bolt and land, maybe?
Yeah. I think 1 is a land. I think the other is Lightning Bolt. So up
Swords
to 3.
now up to 3.
Josh has Brainstorm in hand, so he can hold on to that and potentially save it to set up counterbalance.
So he had 2 delayed triggers off of casting the new Teferi, so he's got
ton of mana.
a ton of mana. And he's not going to fire off his spell. He does. He has a Lightning Bolt.
It's very plus.
If he waits much longer, there's no way this
another Snapcaster.
He just wants to cast two burn spells in 1 turn, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be the goal. And just hope that's enough.
Think once. Pass his turn. Untaps. Theo fetches down to 12.
We're just thinning. We are just thinning.
I think that makes sense, especially when you've been fate sealed.
Definitely.
Here comes a bolt. And here comes a brainstorm in response to the counterbalance trigger.
Yeah, this effectively will counter the bolt. There's kind of no way that there won't be at least one mana spell in his hand to put back on top. Yep. So we'll flip, and there's a Source of Plowshare, so that'll get countered.
Josh also with another Snapcaster in hand, so he's able to set that up again if necessary.
You still play with Barbarian Ring in your deck? And I love that card. I love all those cards, really.
All right, so
that's
Josh looking at a fetch land on top. He's going to say keep that there.
Josh is going to get this.
This Jace is slowly ticking up, and so is this Teferi.
Going to pay 2 to think twice. Then I would assume he's just going to end the turn and let those 2 lands on tap.
I would imagine. Or Fire Blast.
Definitely not resolving.
Willed.
Yeah.
I could get. No, definitely Force of Willed.
Yep, we got a Snapcaster, and I think we're Brainstorm.
Okay.
Force, and he already had a Force, so
I think he was looking for Terminus so that he could, counter it with Counterbalance.
Yep.
Still hold up Force. Searing Blaze in response.
In response, we roll swords. So he's going to lose 1 life in total. Yep, and he's still completely protected under multiple Force of Wills, I believe.
This game is looking pretty over.
I think it is.
And Josh fell to 2, but he fell to 1 actually.
He fell to 1.
Was able to pull it back.
It was a combination of tight play and Theo top decking like 3 land in a row.
Yeah, that'll happen.
And I think that was his out.
Yeah,
I think he actually needed Theo to have 3 lands on top.
Absolute air. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the turning point really was the Teferi being able to take care of that Sulfuric Vortex.
Kind of surprised that Theo's playing at this point, but
all right, so Teferi's gonna ultimate.
Yeah, he needed to pull the trigger on the bolt earlier. I agree. Yeah, he's got a Force of Will here.
So Josh doing the math on cards that he needs to draw, I think.
Brainstorm. Kill 3 mountains. Josh is like, man, and when I draw stuff, it kills things?
Yeah.
What don't I get to do?
It's a harsh ultimate.
It is definitely over. Alright, guys.
That's definitely game.
These guys are just starting up, so let's hang out with these guys while they end their game and get set up for game number 2. Yeah, Josh living on the edge, exactly. That was quite the game. I really thought Burn had that for multiple turns in a row. That Sulfuric Vortex coming down on 3, and it resolved, and I was just like, this is over.
Yeah.
This is over. But nope.
What a comeback.
It definitely was not over.
All right, so Tarmogoyf on Trace's side of the battlefield, and Calvin fetching. That's not Calvin, is it? No, that's Jeremiah.
My bad. Yeah, switch that. Let's switch that over. Stupid miracles. Amen. Everybody ganging up on miracles over here. So what is this?
It should be...
This is Grixis Delver versus Sultai Nikbit. If you'd like to be a little more specific with your question, I'd be happy to answer.
Should be Legacy.
Okay.
So no more Cabal therapies.
Yeah, none of that garbage.
I think if you're Trace, you're pretty happy with that. Like, I mean, Cabal Therapy is an okay card, but like looking at Trace's hand, he's not relying on it at all.
And honestly, this is a matchup where I honestly don't think that that Cabal Therapy is a card that's going to sway this match at all. You know, he had the first one, and it was a fine card to play on one, but after that, other than Friday Night Magic, nothing really. It's just a Friday Night Magic.
Yep, just Legacy FNM, 4 rounds.
Mm-hmm. If you want
greatest Magic format.
Yep. Just come watch some Legacy. We do this every Tuesday and every Friday. It's the greatest Magic format.
I think we're gonna have some more content starting up here pretty soon too, eh?
Yeah, I believe we will. Yes, we do. Actually, we really will.
The players' names are down below. You can take a look. Trace on Sultai Nickfit and Jeremiah on Grixis Delver.
No, we're not watching an old game. This is live.
This is live.
Yeah. Definitely live. If I go outside the door and I like flip the table over, it will you would definitely see it.
He surgically extracted Cabal Therapy. I'd imagine Trace is going to attempt to play
I think Leovold.
And I think it's going to get forced.
Donations absolutely do pop up on stream.
That they do.
And there he is. All right, so Leovold's in play. No, this is like
Jeremiah doesn't have a blue card for the force.
Yeah, he just has a force and a Gurmag Angler. So because this is resolved, now normally I'd say that this card's going to do a lot in the matchup, but look at Jeremiah's hand. He's got Delver, Force of Will, Land, and Gurmag Angler.
Yeah.
So even though
Gurmag's probably going to come down this turn.
Yeah.
And you're able to hold up Force. You've got Delver to pitch to Force now.
Normally I don't look at or I would look at Leovold and be like, this is the perfect card for the matchup.
Yeah.
I like where this is, and I like what it's going to do for me. But yeah, this is definitely strange.
Genichiban, thanks for the follow.
Thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate that. You get a sub too? You did sub. Hey man, thank you so much for the subscription. Yeah. Appreciate that. Got our first hero of the day.
Hero of the day.
Genichiban, he'll be our hero. Alright, so here's a Gurmag Angler and Loving the Blood Trail. Alright. So Maelstrom Pulse is just going to take care of the Gurmag Angler, and then we get a hit for 3.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Delver.
This
interesting.
This might not be good enough.
We know that there's Deed. Oh man.
Okay, so wait, but he's got a blue card, right? This is gonna get forced.
I don't know if he does.
Did he play both?
He played both Delvers.
Nuh-uh.
He played both Delvers.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. No blue card. Oh man.
Oh, Jeremiah's gonna look back at this game and be like, why did I not leave the force up? There's like no reason there's no reason to play both Delvers there. You're not in that big of a rush.
I mean, he knew about Abrupt Decay, so I think he was trying to get around that. But man, this is rough. So Liliana gonna uptick target nothing or target does target.
He's targeting Leovold. So Leovold's gonna get a draw trigger there.
To be fair, he might have to keep that Liliana in play.
Yeah, that's got to be the goal. Choke.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
He just scoops up his cards.
Wow.
Yes.
That's game. Wow.
Oh, choke. Ladies and gentlemen.
What a series of
yes
plays. Oh my god.
All right, let's take a look at our other match. It looks like we're a couple turns in. Oh jeez.
All right, so Brainstorm coming in on Josh's side.
All right, so it looks like we're seeing Lava Spike cast with the Monastery Swift Spear already on board, and
This
then
could be a lot of damage.
This is going to be a lot of damage. Yeah,
9 damage.
Spike into Lightning Bolt. That's 2 prowesses on Monastery Swift Spear, and that's going to get in for
9.
Yeah, 9 total damage that turn.
Yep.
But the thing is 5 more damage needs to get dealt, and Josh is just heading in. Jenny Chibon, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donation. $14.96. That's fantastic.
Much appreciated.
Choke. No such thing. I don't know, man. It showed up pretty hard there. It didn't last very long. It hit the board and the game just kind of ended. So I don't know. We didn't get to see a lot of it, but I think
Sun Dodger says he hates being choked, but but loves seeing other people get choked. Is that weird? No, it's perfectly normal.
Perfect. We don't judge you.
Here comes a hard cast Rift Bolt, and that's gonna drop Josh to 4.
Okay, so this is good. This is going.
Fetch.
Yeah, this is going to threaten to put him into Lightning Bolt.
Looking at lethal range here, isn't he? This hasn't resolved yet.
Oh, it hasn't resolved yet?
I don't think this is resolved yet. Yeah, so Theo takes the game. So 1-1.
Definitely. Jenny Chibon is definitely the MVP of the night.
Oh, definitely.
Good to have you, Jenny Chibon. I hope you hang out with us more for sure.
Oh yeah.
What is this representing? Oh, we do this thing when we find it, you know. Sometimes it's just
some things need to be found, like Azcanta. The correct line.
The correct line, the top deck. the thing that we need, you know. Sometimes you need to find something, and sometimes it comes off the top. We actually have like a ton more emotes that we want to do, but we are not partnered with Twitch yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that will happen in a little bit.
We'll get there.
So Burns going to take game 2. Let me get that updated because I did not do that.
1-1.
Quick game for Burn, and we get to jump back over here, and they are just starting game 2. You haven't played in that long? That's crazy. Well, welcome back.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if you're gonna jump back in and you want to watch some Magic, like
we're here.
We're gonna give you some legacy content, like
twice a week,
and in my personal opinion, this is the best format to be watching. It is a blast. All right, so we've got a Brainstorm. Is he responding to the Veteran Explorer?
I think so.
His Brainstorm literally sees 3 lands. Lost Mystery. Thank you so much for the subscription, man. Appreciate it. Your second hero of the day. This is great.
Much appreciated.
You know what I like? When people are amazing.
It's good. It's good.
When people can help us out and keep us going. God, appreciate it, guys. Okay, so Brainstorm sees 3 lands. This is definitely it was gifted to you. Oh, that's awesome. Man,
Very
cool.
cool.
I can actually pull up my thing so I can see that. Shows what I know. Okay.
Nice.
Thanks for the gifted sub, man. I didn't have my Streamlabs pulled up. I've just been looking at them when they come up on screen.
For sure.
Yeah, there we go. Jenny Chimon, thanks for gifting a sub to Lost Mystery.
Very cool.
Now that I actually have it pulled up, I can see. Okay, so Veteran Explorer was able to resolve. This is interesting because you don't brainstorm like that unless your plan is to find the counterspell.
Sure.
You know, like we're looking for Force of Will. End of turn brainstorms really isn't what you want to do. Like yeah, something. And really like missing this is kind of a tell. You want to make your own original decks? That's tough.
What kind of decks are you looking to make? Like, do you have strategies that you prefer to play?
It is definitely difficult to make new decks around these days.
It certainly is.
The pros are usually on top of it. They'll find the best things. Makes things difficult.
Legacy has a ton of play to the format though, so there's room.
It was Hackbert and me and Brian who put our heads together and came up with Nixfit.
Sure, yeah.
I know I bring that up a lot, but like, that's not like an amazing deck or anything, but that was a new thing.
Yeah.
People were not doing that.
It's always fun to like bring back some older strategies too and see what cards have been printed that fit into them now. Like, I've been messing around online with a life deck. If people know the old extended life deck, there's some cool new cards for that deck. Like Ailey or
Ailey. Yeah. Okay. You saw, Nixfit wasn't like new when we brought it up, but nobody was doing anything with it. It was just like a thought up strategy, you know. We actually like refined the deck a little bit. Sorry, I'm not trying to like claim it as my own because it was Hackbert who gave me the list. We just refined it. Urtog with Stitcher Supplier. Dude, Stitcher Supplier is a sweet new card.
Wow, look at that hand of Jeremiah.
5 land.
Wow. You gotta be pretty happy to see that if you're Trace.
Well, I guess we'll just flash this back and...
Flashback, name Abandon Hope.
Yep. And Jeremiah picks up his deck and he's like, yeah, so I don't have basics.
Yeah.
I know. I don't own a living plane though, Lost Mystery. I don't. Yeah, I don't have that kind of money for.
Good question. Good question. Lands or Delver?
I think somebody needs a brainstorm.
You're the only person playing Rug Hollow Vine in Legacy. It never matters.
So true. The Frozen Divide right above you, Jenny Chwan. He's definitely a brewer. He likes to find new things, and he's got a podcast. It's Hipsters of the Coast. So they're always innovative and trying to find different things to do. All right, Tarmogoyf's down, and we're gonna see a Wasteland because there's nothing better to do.
Yeah.
And
might as well.
You're right, exactly.
Tarmogoyf,
it's a 4/5. Yeah, it's a 4/5. I'd call that big enough.
Yeah.
And we're gonna crash in for 5 damage. So 4 turn clock. And honestly, when you're playing from behind to this degree, playing Grixis Delver.
Oh yeah. It's a tough battle.
I can seriously think of one card that matters right here, and that's True Name Nemesis.
Second Gorf's gonna do it. Jeremiah's gonna.
Yeah, Jeremiah's just like, I can't beat that, and Trace is gonna win this round. So,
okay.
Sultai Nikvit went 3-1 today.
3-1.
All right, so let's jump back over.
Power
We're
stack, pillar.
Definitely a couple turns in. We've seen
and a white bordered Eidolon.
Because that totally makes sense. All right, so this is Pyrostatic Pillar and Eidolon. This is going to be pretty rough on Josh being at 6 life. It means he can only cast one more spell this game that's 3 mana cost or less. So Force of Will was definitely a good card for that. He's going to drop down to 5 and find him a land.
Here comes Gideon.
Gideon.
Okay. Gideon gets around pillars. It also provides a stream of blockers for that Eidolon and a game plan to close out the game. In for 2 comes Snapcaster. Not blocked. That's going to put Theo on the defensive. Theo might get locked out by his own spells.
Gideon's going to win this game. You plus here, right?
You could. You definitely could.
You could.
Yeah. Looks like he's gonna. Okay, here comes Eidolon block. Take 2.
Down to 9.
Down to 9.
Here's a land, and now he can hard cast Force of Will.
That's lethal-ish. Like, he's almost locked, right?
Yeah, so Gideon should be at 5, I believe. But not too relevant. Now he should be at 6.
Keeping it safe, not attacking with the token.
Yeah,
I think I'd just attack all out here, but...
Yeah, you've got Force of Will.
Yeah.
I guess Theo's got a couple cards in hand, and you don't want to just die to him like throwing a bunch of spells at you.
Fire Blast. At what point is this being cast? Is this like in response to Gideon becoming a creature? I'm confused.
I think it's
or is this
the
just to
attack
the
step.
face?
I think it's the
Josh
attack.
is at 5. If he has another burn spell. Down to 4. Josh gonna Force of Will this, I would imagine.
Are you talking to me, Carrion Lich? Because that was 10th edition was the edition that was out when I first started playing competitively. But I did play Magic before that. I started in the Legion set.
That's around when I started playing. I started playing just a little bit before Onslaught block. So, a little bit before 10th.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I missed that. Well, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Gideon's a good card, and sometimes when your opponent says no zeros, no ones, no twos, and no threes, sometimes you go, okay, I'll play a 4, and you win the game with it.
Yeah.
It happens. All right, so we actually had 0 undefeated players tonight.
By the end of 4 rounds, yeah.
At the end of 4 rounds, we had a bunch of 3-1s.
Yeah.
So a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wild. Well, that's
Guys,
going to do it for us
gonna
tonight.
do it.
So
4 rounds in the books. I think we saw a lot of good Magic today.
Yeah.
I for one am still stricken by the Titania make.
That was wild.
Make 3 tokens.
Power. 20 power.
20 power, 5 mana. No big deal.
Burn was, but it got pared down in the last round because we had...
Oh, Josh lost, Scott? Wait.
Did Josh lose? Oh, he rebbed the Force. Burn won.
Oh, did he really? Oh,
Yeah.
what happens when I turn away for a second? Sorry,
I
guys.
mean,
So Theo won.
Where are we saying? Burn's a bad deck.
Yeah, Burn's awful.
Burn's
Remember?
awful. Remember?
Sorry about that, guys. Here, I turned away a little too soon. But wait, what was I saying? I was saying stuff. Yeah, Titania. That card was sweet.
Oh man,
That's my card of the day. I want to play that card.
that was wild.
I'm gonna put it in Agrolome, and it's gonna be bad, but I don't care.
Well, that's going to do it for us today.
Definitely.
Tune in next Tuesday. We'll have another Legacy tournament coming your way.
I'll be here. Bryce will be here. We'll talk about Magic and that type of stuff.
Exactly. And look out because we've got some more content coming your way as well coming up soon.
We do.
So
Got
keep
some
an eye out
plans.
for
Got some
those
plans
notifications. If you haven't subscribed or followed, you can do that and it'll let you know when we go live.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Gen Ichiban and your support of the stream.
Yeah, appreciate that.
And we hope to see you guys in the future.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.